The Jeff Cameron Show. The Lewin career forecaster loves Cameron. We'll see you next time. All right, questions. I said I'd get to them, so we shall. Here we go. Jason writes, what is the best concert each of you has ever been to?
Ooh.
Well,
see, here's the problem is my concert window was pretty, it's a little dated. Corey's going to make fun of me for some references here.
No, go for it, man. Kenny Loggins.
Whitesnake was a good concert.
Oh, Lord. Shut it down.
All right, go to break on that note.
Shut it down.
Oh, man.
The
only way that's an accurate statement is if Tawny Katane came out from the side
and was dancing
stripped
on the stage.
Right.
She did not, but my girlfriend really had a big crush on the lead singer, that old dude, whatever his name was.
Coverdale?
Yeah, David Coverdale.
David Coverdale, yes.
She had a crush on him, so she was real happy that I took her. And she was grateful.
Did they rock in the Still of the Night?
Oh, my God.
Well, like 6 times?
Yeah.
Over and over again?
But also, we did
twice the encore?
This guy turned around and tried to hand her a joint, and she was young and naive. And that's how I ended up dating her. And so she looked at it like she didn't even know what it was. So I had to explain to her that, no, we don't want any. But I'd say probably I saw Rush in Orlando. That was a really good concert. I saw Van Morrison in
Van Morrison. Wow.
on New Year's Eve.
Nicely done.
My man John Glass got me tickets for we went together for my birthday.
That had to have been the best concert
it was
you've
awesome.
been to. That's
it was
incredible.
in a very small. It was in
I'm jealous of this.
it was at
I thought you were
Sunrise
going to keep
Music-
rattling off insignificant concerts.
No,
and
that was awesome.
Air Supply.
Yeah.
Van Morrison was nice.
Yeah, Van Morrison would be really
good.
nice.
All right, I'm done.
I saw Roger Waters do the Wall. That's probably my favorite, just because I.
You saw that in
huge
Atlanta,
fan.
didn't you? Yeah,
twice.
Yeah,
but I have a good joint story, real quick.
Oh, everybody likes a good joint story. Let's hear it.
When I was in high school, we won tickets to go see Elton John at the Lakewood Amphitheater, or whatever it's called now. Hi Fi, I don't know what they call it now. The amphitheater in Atlanta. And we're sitting. We had 4 tickets. My buddy and his wife. My buddy and his dad and his dad's wife They were in the front. We were in the back by the lawn. Me and my other buddy were on the lawn. And we somehow got next to these 2 kind of redneck 30-year-old.
At an Elton John show?
Oddly, right?
That is strange.
Redneck 30-year-old.
They were probably there
I say
to heckle.
30. I say 30 like they were really loud.
You queer?
Yeah. Flamer.
And we were
Tiny dancer.
And I was 16. So anyway, I had binoculars. So I was looking through the binoculars, and then she asked to borrow them. And I go, oh, yeah, sure, here you go. And she goes, I thought she said, are you enjoying this? And I go, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. This is good
She
time.
had asked if I wanted a joint.
Right. Yeah,
And so I'm like,
awesome.
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So she just handed it to me.
And you're like, this is a weird thing.
And I knew what it was.
In celebration of you enjoying the concert is what you thought.
Well,
she just handed you a joint.
I guess she did it because I let her borrow the binoculars. But anyway, I don't know if I was supposed to just start smoking it then and we were going to pass it back and forth.
You just left with it?
But I just left with it. I gave it to my buddy. He put it in his pocket, and then his dad smoked it on the way home.
That's a good joint
In
story.
celebration of the Elton John concert.
All right, okay, a couple things here. First of all, no, man, you don't just take the joint. Like, that is...
But it wasn't lit, number one. And it was kind of small, so I thought she would. She might have just handed it to me as a gift.
If it wasn't lit.
I borrowed the binoculars. Yeah, it wasn't lit.
It wasn't lit, okay.
Yeah, she didn't give me a lit. Give me a lit one. I blew it out and put it in my pocket. Thanks for this.
Oh, man.
But I'd let her borrow the binoculars for most of the concert, and I really thought she said, are you enjoying this? But maybe she said, do you want a joint for this? I don't know. But I said yes, and then that's what I got.
It is cool. That is one cool thing about marijuana is that people will share. You know,
Well, it's a
people
very
don't-
it's
people
a
aren't
lovey
sharing-
kind of thing.
They're
there,
not.
yeah.
People aren't
Yeah.
sharing like Coke. Well, I guess maybe they do that too. But like, people aren't sharing
yeah.
like
Beer.
beer. Like,
And you don't let somebody
but, like-
sip your beer after you've had a few.
Not
somebody's-
strangers. No.
No.
But it's
My buddy. Oh, here you're out. Here you go. I'll drink half. You have the other half. Sure, I've done that.
But they'll ask you if you want to hit off their joint. I mean, it's
Best concert. I've been to hundreds. I literally have. I was a concert going fool for a long time.
Just choose one. Choose one.
I
You
don't
have
know
one
that I
on the
can.
spot.
Different stages of your life.
yeah.
That's the biggest thing. I mean,
Dude, no. The best thing ever is your thing with the dude that you saw basically like.
Oh,
one-on-one.
Glenn Hansard from the Frames, who I saw
thing.
like in a little coffee house. For it was just me and like 3 other guys. Yeah,
That's pretty good.
and
You got a
my
couple of-
wife.
It's not really a concert if it's just
No, well,
4
he had
people.
just played the Frames had played the Metro in Chicago. I saw him, and he had made a comment, and I knew that they were going to be at this coffee house the next day, and I went on a whim just to see if that were true. Like, anyhow, it's convoluted.
But your Eddie Vedder story is great too.
Meeting
You
Eddie
got
Vedder
some-
after a show was didn't suck. That was in Minneapolis at a theater owned by Bob Dylan. That was pretty amazing.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
grading on a different scale than
I
I'm
saw
grading on.
Pearl Jam, Janice Landing before anybody knew who Pearl Jam was, including myself. They were part of an opening act of like 4 bands, and being blown away by them because the lead singer, Eddie Vedder, who I didn't have any idea who he was crazy and was doing all the climbing stuff that he used to do. And I remember leaving the concert and saying to a friend of mine, whoever that band was, they kick ass. I mean, they were awesome. And no, I think those concerts, have great memories. All the intimate settings where you see like a really talented musician with just a couple thousand people, that's better than any of the huge shows. I saw U2 in Tampa Stadium in 1987. I saw them at the Sundome in 84. I was 13 years old, and they were touring, I think, on Under the Blood Red Sky or October. That was cool.
Have you gone to see Bruce?
I have seen Bruce like 5 times. Bruce in Tampa was one of the best shows I've ever seen in 2001 or 2. That was amazing.
You know what I'm talking about, Hornsby?
No,
Yes.
of course,
And
in the
the
range.
range.
And the range.
The
Always
range
with
was
the
there.
range, yeah.
Oh, that's huge.
If the range is not there, you're not going.
going.
You're not going.
Yeah.
See, I might have Spin Doctors might be in my top 6 or 7.
Oh,
Can we go to
no.
another question?
Oh no! I
Doctors
saw.
and Doctors.
Now this is the ultimate.
Before they were big.
Before they sold out. right?
Yeah, you saw him just before.
Before they hit. Yeah.
2 Princes hadn't hit the radio yet. One thing I did see, I went to a concert in Orlando with my buddy Chris Sturgeon, who was in a band himself. That band's name was Bloody Mary. Jesus.
Oh,
anyhow,
yikes.
yeah, he's a very talented musician, and he took me to see, and this is going to be so music snob of me. He took me to see Fugazi in like
Here
an
we
Orlando
go.
theater, and it was incredible because he knew one of the guys that worked the show, so we were on the side of the stage, and that was freaking fantastic. So anyhow, I don't know. We could be here all day with concert stuff.
Well,
let's-
you could. Ira just hit us with Spin Doctors, so he was
that was the
tapped
end of
out.
that. That was that's not good. You see some Huey Lewis action, you guys?
You know what? I did see Huey Lewis at the Calder Race Course
That's unfortunate.
towards the tail end of his. I didn't really see him. He was performing that day. My dad and I were betting. on
Yeah, all
horses.
Of the bad concerts I've been to, I did see the Go-Go's. I saw the Go-Go's because they opened for Adam and the Ants.
That was bad.
Way back when. Well, I was good at the time. I was like 10.
Belinda
I think
Carlisle?
Yeah, it seems like that'd been
But
fun
Belinda
for you.
Carlisle was fat back then. She had.
Even when she was fat, she was still.
She
I
was
still
pretty,
liked
but
her.
she was a little too beefy.
Okay.
She wasn't.
I still liked
it
her.
was much
I liked
later.
her more
The
chubby than I
solo
did.
career where she stayed thick, not fat. It's close. Not the PHAT. She later on.
Ever been close to tragedy or been close to
Why do they call it a brawl, Jeff? Email. I witnessed this so-called brawl on my television last night, but yet again, I didn't see a punch thrown. Sick of watching these bench-clearing brawls without a punch being thrown. Like baseball players have the hold me back syndrome. I really wanted to fight someone. My 60-year-old coach wouldn't be able to hold me back. With all the unwritten rules in baseball, someone should unwrite a rule that says one cannot leave the bench or bullpen unless you're going to punch somebody in the face. On a side note, I'm super stoked about my new aisle seats. Can't wait to try them out against a better opponent. I appreciate that, Chris. Glad you're stoked about your aisle seat. I like that kind of random encouragement that you throw in there at the end of your emails. I would also suggest that you're right. I like the clause. I like the idea of writing a rule that says, yes, sir, it is not time to leave the bench unless you are going to hurt somebody, or at least attempt to. You got to throw the punch. The guy could miss. He might move. In fact, he ought to. But you got to be prepared to throw the punch. This goes back to last night's Braves-Brewers situation and how it was that nobody got punched, A, and B. And look here, Mr. Gomez. All that craziness isn't necessary. I get it. You're mad because previously Paul Mahomes has thrown at you and hit you 2 to 3 times. All right. You feel like that's unwarranted. Baseball players have a long memory. You still can't be a somewhat normal human being and exact your punishment? Step to the box and, clearly he's swinging for the fences, right? He gets his wish. He gets the home run. Now, if you jog to first and say something to Paul about that after the home run, I think it's probably all right. It ends there. Oh, there may be some jawing back and forth. But he acted like an idiot around every base. And again, I think we go back to something here that if Paul had just drilled him in the middle of the back like he should have, we might have gotten a chance, Chris, to see our brawl, buddy, because then somebody would have gotten hit. But if I'm pitching and a guy is that comfortable, in the batter's box to swing out of his shoes and fall across home plate, I need to move his feet anyhow. Seriously, I need to move his feet anyhow. He's way too entrenched in that box. Plus, Paul doesn't throw but 80 miles per hour. So, yeah, throw at him, man. Silliness.
Now that we've touched on this story, I just want to deal with a media reaction. The headline this morning still on most carriers said that Carlos Gomez still mad about Paul Mahomes' situation. But the article itself has the quotes from the postgame where Carlos Gomez, he doubles down and says, listen, this is different. I know when people are trying to hit me, and he tried to hit me, so I held on to it. But he issued an apology last night on Twitter.
A apology.
Like 3 tweets long.
Yes, it's crazy.
And
he's calling to the Braves and the fans and Major League Baseball and everything else.
And the headline still says that Gomez is mad about the situation. That's not the case anymore. Can we stop with the headline gerrymandering?
No, you probably can't, actually. They want to get hits, Tom. They want to get hits on their website. Here's the thing. I would tell you, though, that, man, baseball players have held grudges forever. Bob Gibson would write a guy's number down inside of his hat. Wear the same hat the next year if he didn't see him again so he could remind himself if there was anybody to hit. He would go. So they're playing, let's say they're playing the Giants. And he'd look into his hat before the game to see if there was any number of a San Francisco Giants player or New York Giants player back that he had to hit. That's carrying it over. Oh, I'm supposed to hit this guy. That's fine. I get it. I kind of like that. I like that these guys want to do that. But why would you act like a lunatic?
It's a beautiful day outside. He's just really happy. Yeah. Things are going well. There's balance in his life.
Maybe I won't hit him.
He just picks up the hat. He just snaps it. He just snaps into some ridiculous mode.
So, 52. We meet again.
We missed Bob before he read into his hat. There's no sense in talking to him now.
He's just got numbers all around the inside of the cap. Wow, that hit list is long, Bob.
Looks like a serial killer's wall in his home.
It's just
numbers all about.
No, but I like that guys would hold on. There have been fights that got started because of something that happened in a spring training game 2 years prior. I mean, that's happened. Okay. The second time he hit you, or the third, Carlos, might have been the time to charge the mound. What are we doing here? Charge the mound, bro.
It's like the Carlos Quentin situation.
Yeah. I don't think I'd throw at Carlos Quentin, by the way. Every time I see that footage again, and it's...
That's not what you do.
And that guy, you think that moment that he starts to approach the hill, your boy's like, this could be this is a problem.
Crazy about each other. When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
The Fourth Quarter Bar and Grill, Tallahassee's favorite hangout.
Here's the real scoop on your garden soil. Sometimes it needs a fresh start with the help of the Home Depot, where bags of Miracle Grow garden soil are a special buy, 4 for just $10. It improves existing soil with nutrients plants need for strong roots, so they'll hit the ground running, starting with much better ground. Beautiful gardens start with Miracle Grow garden soil. 4 bags, $10. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 5th while supplies last. Limit 80 per customer. Contiguous U.S. only.
Get to JCPenney for our 4th of July sale. Save up to 40% on major appliances from brands like LG, GE, and Samsung. Plus, get up to a $500 Visa prepaid card when you purchase more appliances. And get 30-month special financing on purchases with your JCPenney credit card. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. Available in select stores. Some terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Financing terms valid 6/21 to 7/12 on purchases of $7.99 or more. Must request at time of purchase. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. Limit 1 Visa prepaid card by mail as a rebate per address, except in Rhode Island. See store or jcp.com/appliances for details.
Hey, Wally Woodham here. In 1974, I set the national high school passing record at Leon High with 3,560 yards.
Jimmy Jordan here. Wally, I broke your passing record at Leon the very next year.
Well, Jimmy, in our 3 years together at FSU, I threw for 22 touchdown passes.
Wally, that's pretty good, but I had 39.
Well, Jimmy, look at the deal I got at AAA Transmission.
That's a pretty good deal, Wally. At least your car's a winner.
Don't put off your auto repairs. Stop in at AAA Transmission and ask for owner Tim Pridgeon, servicing Tallahassee for over 30 years. AAA Transmission, 1023 North Monroe Street, or call them at 222-2532.
Hi, everyone. This is Gabe Grass, founder of Grasslands Brewing Company. You and your friends are invited for a night of celebration at Grasslands Taproom on June 29th from 6 to 10 p.m. as we finally started brewing on our production system and we're ready to distribute our kegs to a bar or restaurant near you. There will be live music by Tuesday Supper Club on the Garages on Games patio, brewery tours, food pairings by St. Everest Sausage House, and of course, Grasslands core beers and special releases just for the occasion. It's because of you that we've come this far, and we're extremely thankful. Come celebrate with us on the 29th. Prost.
Now that summer is here, beat the heat on the water. The Wilderness Way has daily or weekly rental of touring, recreational, and fishing kayaks. If you've been wanting to try kayak fishing, Real Fin Addict can put you on the water with all the equipment, including Hobie Mirage Drive kayak and guide to fish for trout, redfish, flounder, and tarpon. Wilderness Way, 3152 Shadeville Road, Crawfordville. Call them at 877-7200 and visit them online at wildernessway.net. Get out on the water.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, the best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
All right, so we got the bad news, but at the same time, if you didn't know, now you do. We're back, baby. This is what a summer looks like when you're a championship caliber team. Oh, I remember because I was here. I covered it. It wasn't a big deal. It was, oh, who got arrested today? No, you don't wear it like a badge of honor. But it's just the reality of big-time college football and big-time programs playing this game, that if you're good, if you're elite, if you're amongst the best of the best, the road gets a little bumpy. Wear a helmet. Got to buck up there, soldier. It's going to happen. You take a chance on a guy with talent. You take lots of chances on guys that can play because they can play. And sometimes it works out. In fact, more often than not only does it work out, they provide their end of the bargain, which is their talent for you, and thus you are able to vanquish more teams. See how that works? But you also save their life. And that, too, is a good thing. Provide guidance and education, substance, stability, all these things. And so for the most part, it is a symbiotic relationship. Oh, we could get into the economics of this, and that's fair, and that's what's going on right now, and that's why there's a court case. I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying that on the whole, this usually works out. But when it doesn't, it makes national news, or at the very least regional headlines. This is one of the tamer arrests. It's a scooter theft. I'm not saying it's not a crime, because it quite clearly is. It's a felony. But it's a scooter theft.
That's not what you do.
I mean, if you're going to read about an arrest, you want to read about a scooter theft as opposed to what you read about yesterday, say, down in Miami. Two entirely different things. So, obviously. This, though, is just asinine. And really, you hope that a young man who makes this kind of decision now has the opportunity to wake up and realize that it's time to put away childish things, sir. You got an opportunity here. You got a chance. And I don't have to play the role of dad or get on the soapbox. Everybody gets that. But that's what you hope he learns. You hope that it hits him. Whoa, I'm about to screw this up. He may have. I doubt it. I think he'll still have an opportunity to play here. But he may have already screwed it up. I don't know. He's suspended as it is now. Who is the he? Jesus F. Wilson. Bobo Wilson.
That's actually his middle initial.
I didn't make that up. It's Jesus F. Wilson Jr. And I have the probable cause affidavit in front of me. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it by now, but for those that have not, this happened on my birthday, buddy. Did you know that?
I didn't realize the timeline went all the way back to June 11th.
Yeah, June 11th at approximately 10:20 a.m. A guy named Sebastian Bellini parked his red 2014 Bentelli Sprint motor scooter.
That's not what you do.
That is not what you do. I agree. Nice scooter. In front of the I can be the biggest
That's
jerk.
not what you do.
I can be the biggest jerk in the world. I swear I do instantly judge you if I see you roll up on a scooter. I'm like, look at this guy. If you and I were standing next to each other, you could picture me turning to you and be like, mm-hmm.
That's not what you do.
No. Get a bike, my man, or jog, or save a little money and purchase some dilapidated piece of junk that gets you around campus.
Yeah, like a bicycle would probably be cooler, right?
Yes.
You're like, all right, that guy is...
Well, you had to work to do that. You pedaled.
working.
Yeah, it's a bike.
He pedaled his way.
Yeah. The Love Building, of course, being on Florida State's campus. It was raining. Bellini believes he either left his keys in the ignition or dropped them nearby. I'm going to guess that my man left the keys in the ignition. Nobody's hunting for your keys around your scooter. So they were in the scooter starter there. And then anyhow, he returned at around 1:20 and the scooter was gone. Oh, the devastation. My scooter.
Is the key like a little insert where then you crank it and you start twisting?
I don't know. I've never owned a scooter. On June the 17th at around 3:48, TPD stopped an individual riding Bellini's scooter. He was identified as Jesus Wilson. He claimed that he borrowed the scooter from some dude named Drew.
That's not what you do.
This is Drew's, man. Drew's my dog. It's all right. We share a scooter. Wilson claimed Drew was at Florida State and that he was a student from his class. The scooter had been damaged in several areas. So, man, you steal my boy's scooter and you beat it all to hell. Come on, man. Bellini later verified that the damage was all new damage. And if he hadn't, that'd have been done because any pre-existing damage he could now cop to say that Jesus did. He got an estimate of $882 to repair the scooter. I bet he didn't shop for a second estimate. That seems high. I think he just took the first estimate he got and said, yep, that sounds good to me. Virtually the entire cost of the scooter.
Sir, if I could offer you a chance to give me an estimate for repairs that would be of no cost to me.
Yeah.
What would you write down?
Yeah. How much did this thing cost? $1,000. Well, there's $882 worth of damage to this thing. I mean, that's the naked eye. That's the naked eye talking. I really don't. Now, I get it in there, and my guys start looking. They're experts on the scooters. Steve, what do you think the damage is this here scooter? So, anyhow, there it is. And on June the 25th, it's all unraveling at this point. It's just not making any sense. Bobo's not sleeping at night. He's thinking, they're on to me. They know that Drew is fictitious. Wilson maintained his story, however, on the 25th of June about borrowing that scooter from a guy named Drew. Wilson had no contact information for said Drew, but said he would try to get up with him the next time he saw Drew in class.
That's not what you do.
Oh, Drew, no, I don't have him in the phone, but I'll see him around. Next time I see Drew at class, I'll ask him, hey, Drew.
Who, Montrell? I call him Rontrell. I don't know what you're talking about.
I also know him as Trell. On July 3rd, 2014, I contacted Wilson and set up an appointment, said the officer writing this here report, for him to view a photo lineup. Wilson failed to show up for the appointment and emailed me July the 7th and admitted that, yeah, I took the scooter. And I bet you the police officers at that point went, you don't say. You stole the scooter. You mean it's not Drew's? I thought you were going to get up with Drew, man. Could you not find Drew? Do you think he dropped out? On July the 9th, the officer met with Wilson again. He admitted to taking the scooter when he noticed that the keys, you see, were in the ignition. Ooh. Wilson continued to ride the scooter until he was stopped by the Tallahassee Police Department. Wilson said he, didn't plan on keeping the scooter. I'm not keeping the scooter, man. I was going to give the scooter back in due time, sirs. But he did not have a timetable as to when it was that he planned on returning the scooter. He might have been, when he got pulled over, he could have been on his way to turning in the scooter to this guy, Drew.
I wasn't sure.
He wasn't sure exactly when, but
return to the Love Building.
It wasn't like I stole it. I was going to return it. They asked him about the damage done to the scooter, and he admitted that he also had caused the damage to the scooter. So given that we have a guy admitting that he stole the scooter and that he damaged it and that Drew never existed, there's really I don't have to do the alleged here, do I? I mean, Jesus Wilson stole this guy's scooter, beat the bejesus out of it, got popped for doing it, and now is going to have to plead this thing down to a misdemeanor if he's lucky, pay restitution and be on his way and suspended for what? I mean, that's what we're going to venture a guess.
Sounds about right.
I mean, I think that's the summary here.
You just hope that there's nothing else in his record, although I suppose if he's freshly turned 18 or older, he could be all right.
I would not know. I do not know what his background suggests, if he has made any other unfortunate decisions, at least of the illegal variety.
I mean, how many things has Drew been blamed for before?
I like that he went with Drew. I mean, that is... I'm old, so I don't know what I would say. If I stole... First of all, I wouldn't steal somebody's scooter. I wouldn't steal anything. But if I were going to steal something...
wouldn't steal a scooter.
I sure as hell wouldn't steal a scooter. But let's say I stole a scooter and I got caught. What name would I apply to a guy that would drive a scooter? And Drew sounds plausible. It does. Drew sounds like a scooter driving fool, doesn't he? I mean, to me, that or Cooper or
Blair.
Yeah. Mace sounds like a guy who might drive a scooter as well.
Blakely.
Mason sounds like he might drive a scooter. Blakely? Do you know somebody named Blakely? Oh, that poor bastard.
Probably driving a scooter right now. I haven't seen him in years.
Trying to think anybody else that would. So we're trying to think of
Marvin.
Rich white guys. Is that what we're saying here? Conrad. I'll catch up with you guys. I gotta drop off Conrad's scooter.
Thank you for my birthday present, Connie.
Beckman. Beck, can I use your scooter? What do you say, pal? Me and the lads. It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Oh, my lunch has been ravaged by ants.
Go to Bandito's Burritos.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, and we're chasing numbers again. And with just a few days left in June, I still need to sell 40 more new Nissans. I'm selling new Nissans with huge discounts, many under factory invoice. Why? Because Friday, June 30th is Nissan Corporate's quarterly sales close, and Kraft Nissan is 40 new Nissans away from hitting 100% of our objective and a huge quarterly bonus. And I believe in sharing that quarterly bonus with you. How good are the deals? Up to $4,000 off MSRP on Rogue, $5,000 off all Muranos, up to $6,000 off Altima, and $7,000 off MSRP on all Maximas. And all have available 0% interest for 72 months. Plus, all new Kraft Nissans come with our exclusive lifetime warranty at no charge. So stop by Kraft Nissan today, because model for model, not Toyota, Honda, Ford, or Chevy can match our prices. And Nissan gives you more standard equipment and more value for your money. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Must qualify and finance with NMAC and take delivery from dealer stock of over 350 vehicles.
The Furniture Bank of Tallahassee, a division of ECHO, is the only local program that collects and distributes gently used furniture free of charge to Leon County residents in need. Our free furniture bank donates to eligible clients such as families recovering from fire or disaster, formerly homeless clients moving into their own homes, and veterans in a rehousing program. In 2016, we helped 138 families, including 33 vets, rebuild their lives. For more information or to have your furniture picked up, call 224-ECHO. Call 224-ECHO.
Did you know that June is National Rose Month, National Camping Month, National Great Outdoors Month, and at TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, June is Make Your Own Golf Cart and Get It Delivered Free Month. This month at TNT Supercenter, with any golf cart purchase of at least $2,500, they will deliver your cart for free within a 50-mile radius of the store, and you'll also get $500 worth of free Mad Jax accessories. Choose from hundreds of items in the Mad Jax catalog, including rear seat kits, light kits, lift kits, wheels, tires, you name it, Mad Jax has it. New carts, pre-owned carts, club cars, Yamaha, and the very cool Star EV carts. If you like the sound of that, you will love the sound of a 4-year warranty on loaded brand new carts, starting at just $49.99. Trade-ins are welcome, and TNT Supercenter is offering financing with 0 down, and when you buy a club car, 0% with approved credit, plus free delivery within a 50-mile radius. TNT Supercenter, US 19 South, next to Dairy Queen in Thomasville, and online at TNTSupercenter.com.
Ken's world-famous Friendly Tavern, a Tallahassee staple since 1966, is celebrating 50-plus years by partnering with the Florida State Foundation and Dedman School of Hospitality to offer a scholarship in Ken's name, and they need your help. Any donation of $500 or more will receive a personalized mug with your name displayed on the donor plaque at Ken's. The link to donate is located on Ken's Facebook page. Their goal is within reach. You can put them over the top. If you've had a beer, shared a memory, or have a mug there, now's your chance to say thanks. Ken's Tavern, near campus on the Tennessee Strip.
Tallahassee Sports Center.
I'm Lee Gordon. Summer is generally a slow time in the sports world, but not so much for the NBA. A day after the Chris Paul trade, Paul George is up next. Will he be heading to Houston, Miami, potentially the Cleveland Cavaliers? Also making headlines is Tim Tebow. Had a habit of making a big splash and certainly did so on Wednesday night. The New York Met delivered with his very first home run in High A. He's now in Port St. Lucie playing for the Mets. Former Seminole running back Carlos Williams continues to watch his career downward spiral. He's now been suspended by the National Football League for a year after a third substance abuse violation. And in college basketball, we know the Florida State men's team will take on Rutgers in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, while Sue Semrau and the women will be at Iowa City on November 29.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, the best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
What was my favorite moment as a fan? I was sick as a dog when the Bucs won the Super Bowl out in San Diego over Oakland. I was literally laying on the couch covered in a blanket. I stayed up, watched the whole thing, and I kind of just pumped my fist every time we scored, which was quite often. And so it was rewarding. I was happy, especially since in my youth, I had seen that team be so bad for so long and had gone to those games in that stadium and watched us just take a beat down and be the laughing stock of sport, not just football. We were often brought up on these lists of just, futility. I mean, just how could you be this bad? No team in the history of teams has been this bad. That's the kind of list we would be on. And so to see that franchise win a Super Bowl and have that burden removed, it was rewarding. But for me, it's the 93 national championship. I was with my dad in the Orange Bowl. Remember O.J. Simpson walking by long before he ever decided to be a double murderer. And so there I was with my pops who had been coming to Knowles games for over 20 years. And, even as a little kid, he would take me to the games. And so I watched us grow from being a nothing program to a good program to a great program to, on that night, the best in all the land. And just feeling that for my dad, seeing his face and hugging him when the field goal went wide and realizing we were going to win the national championship, that still remains my favorite fan moment. There hasn't been much in the way to supplant that. I think prior to that, when I was 8 years old and the Pirates won the World Series, had been my previous fan moment. The Lightning was great. I know it's special to you. You and your dad growing up, you went to all the games, season ticket holders. You had personal reasons beyond just the hockey championship. You had some situations within the family that made it a trying playoff run, to say the least. And then for that to be the outcome is understandably probably going to be number one on your list, maybe probably the rest of your life, I would guess.
I think so. It'd
definitely be hard to pass. I mean, you never say never, but it would take some crazy circumstances for that to supplant.
No, it's number one on his list. I don't mind saying it. He lost both his parents within 30 days of each other, my grandparents. So we were up in New York twice over the course of the playoff run for not good reasons, and it was all in the playoffs. I remember we were up there for the second time watching Tampa Bay Philadelphia game 5, I want to say it was, in the hotel room. That was the same night that Randy Johnson threw a no-hitter against the Braves. Oddly enough, I just remember flipping around and seeing that. But anyway, yeah, so we were up there in the hotel room, and then we
and by
came
the way,
back
it's
in
always
time.
a glorious moment when the Braves get no hit. That's a good thing,
maybe
too.
That's why, honestly, maybe
You're
that's
probably
why
just
I remember.
really happy, yeah.
But we got back in time for Game 7 against Philly, which at the moment was the best memory of all time. But then you go to 7 with the Flames unexpectedly, and winning like that by 1 goal. Nah, he was. He's not an emotional guy. He was emotional, so was I.
Yeah, so that would probably not change on your list. But it's interesting. One of our younger employees said for her, this past national championship was the moment because she was a lost Acadian. So were you. And the other thing is, in 99, for people who might choose to say 99, then that national championship, I can't know everybody's circumstances, so there may be a valid reason why somebody would say the 99 championship. But in truth, the 99 national championship, for everybody who didn't have a unique set of circumstances making that one their favorite, that was expected, and it was more of a relief to do it. It was as if, frankly, we had fulfilled the promise. That's really what it was. We had fulfilled our capabilities. We had played to our potential. We had reached our potential. That's a different thing, man, and there's a different set of pressures that come with being anointed great and then having to go out and prove it every week. There's pressure in that. When you're loaded for bear and you've got the best players in the country and you're preseason number 1, and remember, we went wire to wire. We were the first team in history, preseason number one every week, number 1 national championship, wire to wire. And so, I don't know, I just exhaled. I was at that. I've been at every one of our national championship games. And I just exhaled when that was over. I really did. Because, again, I was thinking about the drive out to Tempe the previous year when we lost to Tennessee and Winky being hurt. And then, anyhow, I remember just feeling like, okay, there it is. All right, there, that's what we should have done. All right. The championship this past year, remember, we were not supposed to do that. Nobody said Florida State's going to go win the national championship. Even Phil Steele, who said, hey, we're a candidate to be the surprise team. He wasn't saying we're going to go win the national title. Maybe he did. I have to double check. But he had like 5 years in a row. But anyhow.
It's true.
Yeah,
he picked the E.J. Manuel team, 12-2 team.
You just keep throwing that out there. You go. But most people didn't. And you remember, we weren't preseason top 5. And the expectation was that we could be really good. But we had question marks. Remember, we had question marks about the offensive line going into last year. They ended up proving me wrong. I said I wouldn't be a believer until I saw it. I was tired of hearing about how much better this offensive line was going to be, and I had yet to see the proof. And so until I saw it, I wasn't going to recognize it. I wasn't going to assume it. And then I saw it, and we were great, and it's true. And we were able to play every facet of the game well because we had the most consistent offensive line, dominant offensive line that we've had here in, close to 20 years. And we had a run game. And then, of course, we couldn't have known that Jameis Winston was going to be the best player in the country.
There was some symmetry to last year, too. I don't know that it can be topped. I'm still going to. When the ball's kicked off this year, I'm going to have the same amount of hunger and whatever. But, everything about it, Pasadena,
But I don't know if
SEC.
you will have the same amount of hunger. I think it's almost impossible. You'll want to win, but I don't know that you can have it. You'll feel, because championships go a long way. They satiate. You just don't. Hell, the Bucs won the Super Bowl in 2002. And frankly, it wasn't until about 2007 when we weren't any good that I decided I was getting tired of that. 5 good years went by before I went, all right, now, we need to stop sucking. Let's get it together here, guys. All right, that's cool. We won the championship. It sustained me for a good 5 years.
I was good till about 2 years ago.
I know.
Seriously.
You legitimately were like,
whatever.
We won the Super Bowl, right. Now, but we're both, I think, well past that, the afterglow of the 2002 Super Bowl.
The Raheem Morris, Greg Schiano duo of head coaches.
Stripped you.
That did it. And Josh Freeman, a quarterback. That'll do it. That'll get you hungry again and angry.
Well, it'll get you very angry is what it'll get you. And then, so anyhow, I think, I will go. I will say this. What's different about this than the pros is that you don't get to keep these guys. You don't get to keep Jameis Winston, and you don't get to keep Mario Edwards Jr. You don't get to keep Jalen Ramsey and all these wonderful players, Rashad Green, etc. So there is a very small window, and that you have to make hay because it is very difficult to get back up to the top. And, doing what Alabama's done is the goal, but very difficult to sustain. Is it possible? Sure. But what you have to do here, and I think the feeling is that after this season, we're going to take a downturn. We have to, right? We're going to have to replace just a bevy of NFL players. All these guys that went off to the league, it's going to come back to haunt us at some point. When you get guys who leave and leave early, and they're NFL caliber players, first round picks, et cetera. When you got 6-7 guys who are projected to maybe go in the first round, you are loaded. You got to make a go. Because the following year when you don't have those guys or your entire offensive line is having to be replaced, it's not that you're replacing them with duds, but there is just no known commodity. You're not sure that they can be great. This group is great. They've proven it. Everybody comes back except for Stork. And he's replaced by a guy that's already started 5 games. So you got everybody.
You talk about having weird visions and stuff with Adam Silver as the commissioner on stilts and whatever.
Yeah, Slender Man. Somebody sent me Slender Man.
Slender Man.
Yeah, those 2 girls that tried to kill their friend said that Slender Man made him do it. I'd never heard of Slender Man. There's this internet phenomenon called Slender Man. I only heard of it after these 2 girls tried to kill this other girl.
Here's my weird mind with sports.
Yeah.
Not Slender Man or murders.
Adam
or
Silver
like
looks like Slender Man. Yeah.
No, every once in a while I walk around. I don't know why, but I miss Kenny Shaw already. I'm like, man, I miss Kenny Shaw.
You want me to
That
call
guy
him
was
and
that
see
guy
if
was
you can talk to
reliable.
him?
He was so reliable. Who's going to be that reliable?
He was very reliable, but they don't play in the same spot. But Rashad Green is that reliable. He will be that reliable.
But he's going to be covered sometimes.
Sometimes he's going to be covered, and some of the other 5-star superstar players we've brought in will have to be open.
I just miss him.
I mean, who knows? It could be Isaiah Jones. It could be Ramon Lane. It could be Travis Rudolph. We got some guys. I'll tell you what I've enjoyed. Having an elite-level tight end, a playmaker at tight end. It has been forever. A difference maker at the tight end spot. Well, there's just been a lot to be satisfied with lately around here, man. So you got this window. But it's different from last year because this year there are real expectations. You kind of went into last year like, we'll see. Now it's like, ooh, we got to be good. And I don't know if you can live up to those.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance. Helping you.
We haven't talked. Casserly goes, no, we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about specific questions. If you want to ask me just in general, like he's admonishing the host.
On air,
not realizing they're on air.
We're doing a show.
Right. And Casserole, he's like, no, you don't do that. We didn't talk about that. We're just going to talk in general. If you want to ask me in general. And he goes, so start over. And the host goes, okay, well, all right. Well, so, all right, I'll do it that way. So what general questions would you be asking? And the host is doing a pretty good job of playing it off. And he goes, what general questions would you be asking? And Casserole goes, and he thinks for a second. He goes, okay, all right, so are we going now? Are we live or are we taped? And he goes, oh, we're live. And Casserole.
Oh, the announcers.
The host is like, oh, we're live. And Casserole goes, oh, and then you can see he's flustered. He realizes now that this last 30 seconds of him being a jerk to this host was.
It's always a danger when you hire old people. You know,
I mean, it wasn't that long ago that guy was in a boardroom.
There you go. As you noted, per our previous discussion, there are people making serious decisions who I think have seen the game either pass them by or have.
What do you do with somebody who's been in the league for 35 years and has a great reputation, and then just isn't,
It's tough. You give them a gold watch. Yeah. I mean, I think, you're in the boardroom, you're having the meetings about what we're going to do. Charlie starts acting like he's off the reservation. You have a meeting about what do we do with Charlie Casserly as soon as that meeting is over.
I assume NFL Network had one of those.
Yeah, that was a quick, okay, we got to talk about Charlie. I don't know that Charlie's with us anymore. Yeah, I mean, that's tough, too. Especially like if the guy's done great for you and you love him and he's been an integral part of your success, say you're somebody who's climbed the ranks with that guy in that position, and now you're sitting across from him watching this thinking, no, this has happened.
The way you described it, though, he didn't sound like he was that mad or flustered. The way you just described it to me.
He's completely
he was mad. I'm not a good actor. Yeah, he was being an ass.
He's being an ass and he's flustered.
That's the best when people get caught being themselves. I mean, that's the best.
Yeah, he's like talking to this guy like he's a worker at a fast food store or something.
Schlep.
Or a worker at a tow trucking company.
Yes.
Well done.
Only 1 week. Was it 1 week she was suspended?
Suspended for that, yeah. Holy moly. That was so good.
I love the people who are like, oh, well, tow truck drivers deserve it. Really?
Come on, man. That lady's
here's the
working
deal.
a menial job trying to pay bills so her kids can eat.
Well,
and maybe the lady
fact
was
that she
rude
elicited
to her.
The fact that she elicited the old level of education kind of gives you insight to the way she thinks about
that's
other
exactly
people.
right. That's what I said. Is like she shouldn't be fired for that. And the race to fire someone is out of control.
It's crazy.
But we all know who Britt McHenry is now.
Yeah, a bitch.
Exactly. That's who she is.
Yes.
She's a bad person that thinks bad things about people not like her. We know that now. We got that insight into her that we'll never forget, and that's more punishment. That's as much punishment as she deserves.
You're not as pretty. You haven't gotten as much education, so you're obviously
and you're not on.
You're
TV.
a lesser of a
person.
human being, is what she thinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, I think that's the thing with this Casserly thing. And I mean, I've seen him before, and I've been like, okay. But I think we automatically assume when those guys get those jobs, like when NFL executives get jobs or former coaches get jobs on TV, that, man, that guy is going to be awesome. And then a lot of times when you watch them, you're like, why are people hiring you?
Yeah.
Like, how
Yeah.
did...
Well, it's not an easy thing. It's like you almost take offense. First of
that
all,
they can just walk in?
well, you wouldn't grab a guy and just tell him tomorrow, hey, you're a journalist. Go write us stories. I mean, he'd have to show you that he had some sort of ability, to write, and then you'd coach him along
And
say,
be entertaining.
Yeah.
And have opinions that
Well, that's
are
what I'm saying.
insightful.
Same for this kind of a job. Like there are plenty of people who think that certainly, I mean, because they're affable or whatever, that they could sit in here and do a show, and there are some that could, and then there are many more that would get in here and after 15 minutes go, "Oh, I'm done. I've said all I need to say." Well, we got 2 hours to kill here, Killer. We got some things to go. We got to continue to move on.
Remember when ESPN was doing their dream job thing with like
Yes.
like former athletes?
Yes.
Oh, those were painful.
It was tough.
That was LeVar Arrington might have been one.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's hard. It
Yeah.
makes you sad. You just damn, this is bad. Okay, here's a question. If you guys had not been in sports broadcasting / journalism, what would have been your second choice?
That's a good question. Who asked that?
Kristen.
I was going to be a teacher. But that wasn't working out. So
why was that not working out? You seem to have a heart of a teacher.
Well, I was going to be a music teacher.
You have the heart of a lion.
I was going to be a music teacher. And
You were gonna be a music teacher?
I did music education for about a year and a semester. Most of a year and a semester.
What are you
Towards the end of
playing,
that,
buddy?
Trombone, percussion,
All right.
euphonium.
Yeah.
Y'all can get a band together. I'll write all the songs.
Yeah,
But
okay.
they
You guys play your guitar and trombone.
But yeah, basically,
I was second seat trombone, buddy.
dude, I was first chair.
I know. The guy who was first chair was more like you. He had me beat every time. I couldn't do it.
But when I got to, but anyway, in the music education program, you have to take lessons, and this is actually a conversation my trombone professor said, "How much are you practicing?"
You're like, not much.
And I was like, never. And he goes, professional athlete. He's like, what are you interested in? I said, sports. And he goes, well, Michael Jordan practices basketball probably
all the time,
5 or 6 hours a day. And I was like, yeah, but he likes basketball.
Yeah, I don't like playing the trombone.
And he goes, well, you don't like playing trombone? I said, eh. He goes, well, maybe you should find another
Maybe you
major.
shouldn't be a music major.
Take it or leave it. Okay.
I'm fairly indifferent about this whole trombone thing. Plus, I don't think I'd like teaching.
The teaching I liked. That was the problem. That's the only reason I picked that was because I was like, what would I want to teach? I don't want to teach math. I wouldn't want to teach English.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to teach history.
I think I'd like to be a high school teacher, but
what
I'd
I
be
wanted
like
to
a
do.
journalism teacher. So I don't know if that
Well,
counts
see,
as answering the question. Because I wouldn't want to teach English because then I'd have to read
like
Steinbeck.
Diagram sentences or something.
Yeah, who's going to do that?
And then I didn't want to teach math. And then
Sonnets.
I thought like history would be good, but all the history jobs are taken by football coaches.
You could read the Pearl to the class. It'd be great fun, man.
Yeah. So, but I think that I think it'd be cool to be a teacher and a coach. I think that'd be a fun life.
I used to think that too, and that was always my fallback plan was to be a teacher and a coach.
See, that's why we teach the community now.
Seriously, I've always said that if I get out of this business, if I get disgruntled enough at what it's become, then I think I'll be a teacher and a coach. But the problem is I got 2 young boys, and being a coach takes up a lot of time.
Yeah,
you're never home, and that's a toughie. So
also could have been an actor. I wanted to be an actor when I was.
Did you?
No. But I mean, look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, I was going
mug.
to say that would have been tough to overcome. But you could have been a character actor. You could have.
That's right.
I
could have played a dead person.
You're listening to a special ESP.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Possible hazard out there. Think again. The hazard you missed could actually be a killer. It's the spot on your skin, the one that could be skin cancer. Fact is, if you're a man over 50, you're in a group most likely to develop skin cancer, including melanoma, the kind that kills one person every hour. 1 in 5 Americans is likely to develop a form of skin cancer during their lifetime. That's why your best shot is to check for a spot. It's easy. Follow through and check your skin. It could be the save of a lifetime. Go to spotskincancer.org to find out how. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Canal Street Crepe Company congratulates the FSU Seminoles on reaching the College World Series. Canal Street Crepe Company, 1304 North Monroe Street, open daily 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Go Noles!
Did you know that June is National Rose Month, National Camping Month, National Great Outdoors Month, and at TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, June is Make Your Own Golf Cart and Get It Delivered Free Month. This month at TNT Supercenter, with any golf cart purchase of at least $2,500, they will deliver your cart for free within a 50-mile radius of the store, and you'll also get $500 worth of free Mad Jax accessories. Choose from hundreds of items in the Mad Jax catalog, including rear seat kits, light kits, lift kits, wheels, tires, you name it, Mad Jax has it. New carts, pre-owned carts, club cars, Yamaha, and the very cool Star EV carts. If you like the sound of that, you will love the sound of a 4-year warranty on loaded brand new carts, starting at just $49.99. Trade-ins are welcome, and TNT Supercenter is offering financing with 0 down, and when you buy a club car, 0% with approved credit, plus free delivery within a 50-mile radius. TNT Supercenter, US 19 South, next to Dairy Queen in Thomasville, and online at TNTSupercenter.com.
Need a place to watch your favorite sporting event? Hobbit American Grill, voted best wings in Tallahassee by Tally Awards 3 years in a row. Thirsty? They have the Lucky Sevens. $7 domestic pitchers after 7 p.m., 7 days a week, $7.95. Daily specials. Locally owned and operated since 1978. Hobbit American Grill keeps it local with a wide variety of locally crafted beers plus a full bar. Hobbit American Grill. 3 locations to choose from. 400 Capitol Circle Southeast, 2020 West Pensacola Street, and 5032 Capitol Circle Southwest. Visit them online at myhobbitonline.com.
The Home Depot's Red, White, and Blue Savings Event is the place to get your 4th of July party started. Save big on the Whirlpool stainless steel French door refrigerator. Perfect for storing sheet cakes and platters. Now just $9.98. Plus, get up to 24 months financing on select appliance purchases with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Credit offer valid through July 5th. U.S. only, subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly. If your AC is blowing hot air, let O'Reilly Auto Parts help bring back the cool this summer. While you may need to eventually service your AC unit, get immediate relief with Interdynamics R134A refrigerant with leak sealer. Buy 2, get 1 free at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limits apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Broadcasting live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Tallahassee Sports Center.
I'm Lee Gordon. Summer is generally a slow time in the sports world, but not so much for the NBA. A day after the Chris Paul trade, Paul George is up next. Will he be heading to Houston, Miami, potentially the Cleveland Cavaliers? Also making headlines is Tim Tebow. Had a habit of making a big splash and certainly did so on Wednesday night. The New York Met delivered with his very first home run in High A. He's now in Port St. Lucie playing for the Mets. Former Seminole running back Carlos Williams continues to watch his career downward spiral. He's now been suspended by the National Football League for a year after a 3rd substance abuse violation. And in college basketball, we know the Florida State men's team will take on Rutgers in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, while Sue Semrau and the women will be at Iowa City on November 29.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, the best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Interrupting all programs. This is a radio crash on Pirate Satellite.
Final hour of the Jeff Cameron Show, at least for today, and I thank you for tuning to it. Happy Balls Wednesday, my friend. I'm Jeff, that's Tom, 523 ESPN, your number. Check us out online. Go to the website, ESPNTallahassee.com. I got a little lightheaded there, Tom. I could fall out any minute. Be ready to whistle. Oh, no, I'm fine. I just got really into that opening. Balls Wednesday, I feel vitalized, ready to go.
I don't want to jinx anything, but you haven't had a Wednesday where the words got to you in a long, long time.
Why'd you bring it up? You know, I'm becoming more of a professional broadcaster, even if the topics on a day-to-day basis don't reflect that. And I don't mean to be. It's a happy accident.
It was a compliment, by the way.
No, I got to get back to stumbling about and screwing things up.
No, it's not like
on
it wasn't
Wednesdays, it's the law.
Yes, it has been for a long time.
Oh, 15 years.
Not anymore, though.
No, I know.
You've cleared that extra hurdle.
I go back and listen to shows, if only to criticize and fix the things that either I've made a mistake on or that you've ruined. And we come back the next day and attempt to do better.
85-15 in that department.
Somewhere in there. And I always go back, and I'm very critical, want to do better. But I've noticed this trend on Wednesdays where I've just been fantastic, and I've thought this is not the norm.
Well, I mean,
is it coming at the expense of other days in which I was usually solid?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good news.
No, it's real good
I'm sure
news.
the listeners disagree, though.
I mean, you being a Lightning fan, you see how much tougher the Lightning have gotten when Ryan Callahan was added to the fold.
I agree.
I think I've had a similar impact on you.
You know what I think? I think somebody will tweet at me or text me or email me and say, no, Jeff, your Thursdays have gone to hell. Ever since your Wednesdays came up, your Thursdays have fallen off.
Well, you're never on the air on a Monday or a Friday anyway.
This is what happens when we don't. Florida State lost last night in the NIT, but alas, the ding-ding is no more. No more trolley to follow, and now the watch for next year's team and whether or not this streak of NIT appearances can end will be the question. And, of course, I won't spend an inordinate amount of time discussing that. I think the story, though, of course, was not whether or not Florida State lost last night, but rather the sad, sad display of broadcasting from one Bob Knight, who is all but shot, ladies and gentlemen. That old man is done pontificating about nonsense for long stretches at a time, only to annoy his broadcasting partners. You want to use here? Are you begging to use here?
No, it's just which one? There are plenty of options.
There's so many options for which we can have fun at Bob Knight's expense. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but it continued, and then I thought, well, we need to embrace this because we might be on the right side of history. That is to say, we could listen to the very moment in which Bob Knight ended up being fired or saying something that led to his firing. The nonsensical babble at varying points of the broadcast, too numerous to get specific with here, so we'll just use, I guess that's what we will do. We will get specific. Let's go to, which one do you want? You wanted the incessant babble amongst the three, arguing over whether or not the referee in or out of bounds. Bob Knight's insistence as the game goes on of bringing this back up. Here you go.
So you're saying he's out of bounds when it hits? I would say, even though he only has 1 foot in and 1 foot in the air, I would say, Coach, he's in. But I have not seen that.
Well, but he touched out of bounds, though.
Well, that's interesting because I have not thought about it if he's out of bounds.
I'm not sure, but to me, he touched out of bounds. Now, that makes the ball out of bounds.
They're dribbling. Yes. They're running a set. There's a shot and a rebound.
Inbounds.
Smith, long three, not even close. Out of bounds, that'll be Florida State's basketball.
Imagine what would take place there with the shot fake.
Huh?
This is interesting what you're saying. With the foot out of bounds. Yep. But I think once he
Fellas,
lifts
the
it,
game.
he's just
I don't
inbounds.
think so.
Well,
I think he's still out.
No.
Well, if it's a player, he would still be out. No question.
He's come from out of bounds.
They're still talking about this.
I want to find out exactly what the ruling would be. I want to know if he is ruled out of bounds.
I'm staying. I'm finishing my coffee. Good Lord, guys. The play. The action's on the floor. What are we doing here? But that's interesting. No, it's not, John Saunders. It's not interesting at all. And everybody knew that rule. The referee is part of the floor. He's not out of bounds there. The ball hits off him. We're done with this.
Poor Fran. He had it right, but it's Bob Knight he's sitting next to,
Well,
so he can't
he's
really
trying
just
to
be like, Bob.
kowtow, and he's trying. Yeah, he just didn't want to say, Bob, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Want further proof? Here.
Do we have an illegal substitution of any kind? Well, I think
he's going down to explain something here.
Yes.
Yes, he is, Bob. Thanks.
Did that clock reset?
No, I think they've got 18.6 left.
No, that's in the game.
Can we keep going? Come on, Bob. Bob, please. More.
But the officials didn't see it or wouldn't call it.
You know what I've always thought was an interesting thing is when you're ahead in those circumstances, throw the ball as high up as you can throw.
Oh, just chuck it into the air.
We had a kid that really cost us a big game, leaning out of bounds, and he had all these things to do with it. Hang on to it, go out of bounds, throw it up in the stands, he flipped it back in. Kid grabs it, shoots it, beats us, and it was Nebraska. We hadn't played well.
Oh, the Nebraska game, yes.
Really bad losses that you have. Yep. But offensively, I thought
people are scoring baskets behind you.
That's going to take 6-7 seconds.
Booker takes it coast to coast and drops it in with 19 ticks still on the clock and gets it back.
So wait a minute, Bob. Am I to believe that you wanted to alter strategy at the end of games for when a player got possession of the ball and there were, roughly 8-9 seconds left in the game, your call would be to just throw it up into the air as high as you can. Fellas, here's the deal. Let's not look for a teammate. Let's not call timeout. I want you to throw the ball as high as you can into the air because we all know that one can turn and throw a basketball into the air while in an arena without hitting anything in the arena. That doesn't come down for 8 seconds. John Elway in his prime couldn't throw a basketball to the ceiling and not have it come down in 8. It's a basketball. What are you talking about? I took the Bob Knight challenge earlier today. You'll find it on YouTube, on Twitter here. 3.3 seconds, Tom. That's the best I could do at Jay Cameron Show. You don't have to play that clip. You want to? No, you don't have to. You can play Bob Knight continuing to talk about this subject of ball chucking to the ceiling.
I wonder, I never tried this, and I wish I would have thrown the ball as high as I could throw it and then time it.
What?
And if it went, say, 7-8 seconds before, that'd be a hell of a thing. Then everybody scrambles after it.
Austin Hollins is tonight's 5-star player of the game.
That'd be a hell of a thing, guys, because if it lasted 7-8 seconds and everybody would be scrambling for the ball.
Producer in the truck, John, you got to get the 5-star player of the game in. Just cut him off.
It's a sponsored bit, John. Just tell the old man he's nuts. So, Bob, your strategy in this situation, just throw the ball up high into the air.
You know what I've always thought was an interesting thing is when you're ahead in those circumstances, throw the ball as high up as you can throw it.
I've always thought that too, Bob. Recently, I was in Philadelphia, happened to be sitting next to a guy at a diner, and we were talking about certain tenets of basketball strategy and things that we thought could be altered over the years. And the first thing he brought up to me is, Why don't more people throw the ball as high up into the air as they can?
Throw the ball as high as I could throw it and then time it.
And that's the second part of it, Bob. The point you make that is duly noted, and certainly, I think, probably most interesting, is that you would want to throw that into the air and time it. It's not enough just to throw the ball into the air. You want to time it.
Throw the ball as high as I could throw it and then time it.
Yeah.
And if it were to stay up there, magically, defying the laws of physics, for up to 8 to 9 seconds, 7, 8 seconds perhaps, well, that, I don't know, forgive me, but that might be a hell of a thing. That could be a hell of a thing, Bob.
I have the Bob Knight challenge.
Well, this is only me throwing it up into the air as high as I can. The audio version. That was pretty good. 3 1/3 seconds. I felt good about that throw. Listen to that throw. That was pretty good. 3 1/3 seconds. Anyhow, the effort. You'll see the efforting on my part there. If you go to my Twitter account, that was tweeted at me, at JK Show. It's also on, I don't know if it's on the show blog. Show contributor Chris put it up yet. It'll be up there. You'll find it. I mean, I got into that. You thought I was going to tear a rotator cuff, didn't you?
I did. I couldn't believe the effort. You know, the freeze frame on there shows your extension.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It looks like you should not have a right arm now.
I feel pretty good about I really cared deeply. I wanted to do as Bob Knight wished. That was pretty good. 3 1/3 seconds. That was up there a long time. That felt like more than 3 1/3.
Dan was good on the trigger. He was right.
You sure?
You counted in the first hour. You
do it one more time here. You got to get right, because the ball comes out of my hand right at the grunt. Okay, you ready? Go.
I'm trying to time it to the grunt.
All right. Well, just go right at. No, go ahead and play the grunt. I'll count as soon as I hear the grunt. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well. 3 1/3 seconds. It feels like when it's just silent like that, it's up there for. Bob, it can't be done, and not because I can't do it. Certainly there are plenty of people with a much stronger arm, but I did go ahead and reach out to those who have done the math. We had TPE write into the program and tell us exactly the formula needed to do it, and he has done so and said, not possible. Not possible. But not even close. It's like
what I've always thought was an interesting thing is...
What's that, Bob?
When you're ahead in those circumstances, throw the ball as high up as you can throw it.
Okay. Throw it up as high as you can.
The guy who's guarding you blocks it, takes it,
dunks it. Thanks for that. I was just trying to throw it as high as I could because I was interested. And I figured
the ball as high as I could throw it and then time it.
Yeah, says Fran Fischilla. Yeah. That was befitting of an NIT matchup between Florida State and Minnesota. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford. the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin, Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Many other things every day. Figuring out how to get a good deal on homeowners or auto insurance is the last thing you want to do. Go visit Stacy Maxwell, owner of Insurance One, to guide you in the right direction, as he's done for the past 30 years. He'll find you a great policy at an affordable price and make your day a little easier. Call Stacy at 671-5768. Visit them online at insuranceonefl.com or go see him at their new location, 1350 Market Street, Suite 200, right above the Pink Narcissus.
Here's the real scoop on your garden soil. Sometimes it needs a fresh start with the help of the Home Depot, where bags of Miracle-Gro garden soil are a special buy, 4 for just $10. It improves existing soil with nutrients plants need for strong roots, so they'll hit the ground running, starting with much better ground. Beautiful gardens start with Miracle-Gro garden soil, 4 bags, $10. Now at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through July 5th while supplies last. Limit 80 per customer. Contiguous U.S. only.
Get to JCPenney for our 4th of July sale. Save up to 40% on major appliances from brands like LG, GE, and Samsung. Plus, get up to a $500 Visa prepaid card when you purchase more appliances. And get 30-month special financing on purchases with your JCPenney credit card. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. Available in select stores. Some terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Financing terms valid 6/21 to 7/12 on purchases of $7.99 or more. Must request at time of purchase. Subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. Limit 1 Visa prepaid card by mail as a rebate per address, except in Rhode Island. See store or jcp.com/appliances for details.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, The Best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
So apparently Jameis Winston had a shoot for the NFL draft that had him up on the roof of a very tall skyscraper, a building of some kind anyhow. And there's a helicopter kind of hovering by the roof where he's standing. No, man, I can't do it. I can't. I just looked at that picture and it bothers me. I know he's in no danger to fall off the roof.
You're like 50 feet away from the edge.
Yeah, it's close, man. There's some wind or something. A
strong enough gust of wind to pick up his 6'3", 230?
Could he's very high up. It's a very strong wind. I can't do it, man. I am so messed up by heights that are so, I'm not superstitious, for example. I don't believe in ghosts, and I don't think that there have been aliens or any of that stuff. But I get freaked out by heights. I am a mess. That's the one thing that really messes with me. I can't. It just bothers me. Like people watch scary movies, they don't scare me. I never get worried about it. If somebody said a house was haunted, I'd go sleep in it. Wouldn't bother me because there's no such thing as a haunted house. None of that bothers me. But if you told me I had to go up on a roof, like a big roof. I'm on my roof all the time. That doesn't bother me. I'm talking about really high up.
5 to 9-year-old demon girls, little girls.
Yeah, they don't exist.
That still bothers me.
The Shining? The Shining, 2 little girls on the bike?
The Ring.
I never saw The Ring.
Yeah, The Shining, yeah. The first Ring.
I didn't see. I don't know what The Ring is. Oh, goodness. Apparently that's a movie. But, yeah.
I saw it in high school. There's a problem. I wasn't fully ready for half of the stuff that they were ready to throw at me.
Oh, no, horror movies, the more absurd they are, the more I find myself kind of chuckling about it all. But
clowns don't bother me. Clowns bother people a lot.
Clowns bother me. They don't bother me in the sense that, like, I'm scared running from clowns. They're just troubling.
In the game, for example, the clown is always around with the key, like the one it has the key in its mouth early on in the movie. People are freaked out by those porcelain little clowns. They can't even look at them. I don't understand that.
I can look at them. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I mean, they're just stupid. Clowns are just annoying. I always found clowns just annoying.
But demon children, no.
Yeah, but they don't exist.
With their little
clowns
demon
exist.
voices.
No. I never. Those, again, scary movies. I wasn't scared in Halloween when I saw that as a kid. It's an awesome horror movie. I loved it. The original Halloween is awesome.
Those are good movies.
Yeah, Michael Myers was my favorite. I liked him much more than Jason. When I was a kid, I was afraid by Friday the 13th. I used to want to sneak and watch Friday the 13th when it came on HBO because people have sex. And you're little, and that's the only reason you're like, I'll put up with the stabbing. These kids are going to have some sex in this cabin soon. I know it. because the kid's going to get killed.
Exactly. Just shortly after. It's almost like for their promiscuity, they are punished by Jason.
Exactly. Yeah. They were trying to send a message. Yeah. But but you as a little kid,
kids don't do it. Jason's going to get you.
I want to watch this. It's going to happen. And then, then all of a sudden, boom, spear through the chest. But none of that stuff really scares me. But heights, these crazy, the Russian people that are dangling out over the cranes and stuff, and they hang off like the Empire State Building. No. My hands get sweaty. I can't do it.
Well, but, at least you have guys, some good moral fiber guys like Urban Meyer. Did you see him on Letterman, by the way?
No.
I don't know. And this is one of the interesting things about the Jameis.
Was he a guest on Letterman?
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't the top 10 guy?
No, he was a guest.
All right.
And what's interesting, and I thought the Jameis story, all of that kind of brought this home to me. It's something I didn't really realize because we live down here in the bubble, in the South, and we all know what college football has become. We know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think we see it realistically. It's just, and I think I heard somebody, who was it? It was Cannell or somebody said there's got to be a little bit of a willing suspension of disbelief with college football about what it really is. We
sure.
know what, and you talk about this all the time, that let's get away with some of the illusions. But with the Jameis case, you had all these people who don't know anything about college football and still think of it like in their mind of like something from the 50s or something.
Like a backwoods rodeo.
They don't have no idea what it is. So they're seeing that story and just everything that comes up and not understanding this world at all. I mean, just not understanding they don't have any context at all. And that was brought home to me with the Urban Meyer when he was on Letterman, because I guess whoever did the show prep basically just like Urban Meyer's people must have told them, well, now Urban, he's all about school and faith. And,
oh, jeez.
And dude, David Letterman,
whom I
during
love,
during the interview and then after the interview was like, this is the kind of guy like you'd want your kids to play for.
Yeah, that's awful, isn't it?
But it's like, how do you? I mean, and again, I never really realized that there are people who don't know anything about college football, and that's apparently him and his staff.
He's in New York and he's from Indiana.
So you just
he doesn't.
But how you just take it on face value?
But still,
because
you've heard of Florida and
Aaron Hernandez.
I don't think he
Aaron
read, but I doubt he read
Pouncey
really
twins.
any of the stuff about. I mean, I don't know.
When he saw Hernandez, he just associated with the Patriots, not with
Probably. You know what he needed to do, though, and it's really what won me over to Urban Meyer and the belief that I'd like to play for him or have my sons play for him, is when he recruited Matt Elam. Because the whole thing about Jesus and
having
the
faith.
dreams.
Do you know what faith is?
Yeah. I mean, that to me.
Do you know what faith is, Matt? Because there's about a 99% chance I'm bouncing after next year, and you're going to get real muschamp.
Corey, you're getting this twisted. At the time that Urban Meyer talked to Matt Elam about faith and Jesus and dreams, I think in his heart of hearts, he couldn't wait to help that young man be of more sound character,
right?
To be a better human being in this world. And I think one of the great regrets Urban Meyer has to this day is that he was forced to leave.
Keeping him up at night.
Well, and he didn't get to see Matt walk across that stage, get his diploma, because that's what Urban's about.
The degree.
That's all Urban's about.
It's always been the degree. Yeah. This winning is an ancillary benefit for caring about more important things in this world.
He wants to get those 100 kids.
Degrees, becoming a man.
Right.
Socially responsible. Treating women well.
Now I know where Letterman was coming from.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, that's...
So if Urban's still coaching when Bryce makes it, I'm going to say, that kid, hey, son, that man has faith in you in a way you can't understand. It's transcendent. You need to go to Urban Meyer.
You need to play for Urban Meyer. And
you need to see a man outside of this household that's better than me that can raise you right.
A real father figure.
That's right, Urban Meyer.
Some coaches are all about winning.
Not Urban. Urban doesn't even know what his record was this year.
I said before, we might note that he's 38-3 in 3 years at Ohio State. You might know that. I might know that. We're about these records. You know what he knows? How many guys have graduated in those 3 years? Right. That's what he knows.
He wants to be 85-0 each year.
That's
with those men, with those young men.
We have a winner on that. We're going.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, The Best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
It's that time to win. Let's do it. Jeff Cameron here. It's time to give away some WWE tickets at the Civic Center. It's coming to town. Name this clip and the wrestler who's saying what he's saying. Go.
And Vince McMahon's going to tear Heyman completely up. Come on, you son of a bitch! Get him the hell out of here!
You heard the voice. Tell us who it is. First caller to 523-ESPN. That's 523-3776. That can identify the WWE legend wins 2 tickets to the WWE Live in Tallahassee. Talk to you all on Monday, July the 3rd. Enjoy. Good luck.
Did you know that June is National Rose Month, National Camping Month, National Great Outdoors Month, and at TNT Supercenter in Thomasville, June is Make Your Own Golf Cart and Get It Delivered Free Month. This month at TNT Supercenter, with any golf cart purchase of at least $2,500, they will deliver your cart for free within a 50-mile radius of the store, and you'll also get $500 worth of free Mad Jax accessories. Choose from hundreds of items in the Mad Jax catalog, including rear seat kits, light kits, lift kits, wheels, tires, you name it, Mad Jax has it. New carts, pre-owned carts, club cars, Yamaha, and the very cool Star EV carts. If you like the sound of that, you will love the sound of a 4-year warranty on loaded brand new carts, starting at just $49.99. Trade-ins are welcome, and TNT Supercenter is offering financing with 0 down, and when you buy a club car, 0% with approved credit, plus free delivery within a 50-mile radius. TNT Supercenter, US 19 South, next to Dairy Queen in Thomasville, and online at TNTSupercenter.com.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, 'cause it's what we do.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Well, 0% interest for 72 months. Plus, all new Kraft Nissans come with our exclusive lifetime warranty at no charge. So stop by Kraft Nissan today, because model for model, not Toyota, Honda, Ford, or Chevy, can match our prices. And Nissan gives you more standard equipment and more value for your money. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Must qualify and finance with NMAC and take delivery from dealer stock of over 350 vehicles.
Tallahassee Sports Center.
I'm Lee Gordon. Summer is generally a slow time in the sports world, but not so much for the NBA. A day after the Chris Paul trade, Paul George is up next. Will he be heading to Houston, Miami, potentially the Cleveland Cavaliers? Also making headlines is Tim Tebow. Had a habit of making a big splash and certainly did so on Wednesday night. The New York Met delivered with his very first home run in High A. He's now in Port St. Lucie playing for the Mets. Former Seminole running back Carlos Williams continues to watch his career downward spiral. He's now been suspended by the National Football League for a year after a third substance abuse violation. And in college basketball, we know the Florida State men's team will take on Rutgers in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, while Sue Semrau and the women will be at Iowa City on November 29.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, The Best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Speaking of high-profile players and making their way back, Johnny Manziel making his way back to Cleveland and apologizes to the Browns. Says, I'd like to thank my family, friends, the Browns organization, my teammates, and Browns fans everywhere for your patience, understanding, and support during my stay at, I think it's called Karan. I don't know. It's a facility. The doctors and staff have been amazing, and what I've learned in the last couple of months has been tremendous. I owe private apologies to a lot of people that I have disappointed, but a very public one to the Browns organization and the fans that I let down. I take full responsibility for my actions, and it is my intention to work very hard to regain everyone's trust and respect. I understand that that will take time and will only happen through what I do and not what I say. I also understand there's a lot of curiosity about this, but anyone who has a friend or family member that's been through this knows it's an ongoing process. I'm going to continue to ask folks to try to respect my privacy as I determine to what degree I am comfortable talking about a subject which I consider very personal. Most of you have been considerate about that, and I thank you for it. Look forward to seeing my teammates next week, focusing on football and my desire to be the best possible player, teammate, and man that I can be. So, rating that lengthy statement from Johnny Manziel from a PR standpoint, I'd say, well done. Bravo. Hit all the right notes. You buy it? I think for now you have to. Relapse is part of recovery, however, so we shall see.
I forgot who said it halfway through because that was quite the lengthy statement.
Goes on for a while,
Yeah. Maybe. I hope so. I mean, you always root for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you don't root for guys.
I'm not going to go crazy like Colin. I'm on Team Johnny now. You get off his back. I got his back.
That was grandstanding, yeah.
But honestly, I mean, you root for a guy to, make right whatever is going wrong in his life. I just don't know if that's going to amount to much of anything on Sundays.
Yeah, no, I think he could be completely sober and work very hard and still suck. Yeah.
There it is.
I never was evaluating the Johnny Manziel to the NFL, whether or not he would work out or not work out around the fact that he seemed to be boozing it up. It was always that I just didn't think he could play. So that doesn't change. He'll just be sorry and sober, which in his case, and certainly for life after football, is a better way to be.
Well, and paid well, because that'll keep him out of trouble and not on a suspended list or some sort of blacklist by the NFL. So,
I will say this, if by chance, for some unforeseen reason, certainly unforeseen as it pertains to me and you, if he is ever good, if he ever does have a career in which he excels and becomes even a viable starter, like I don't even mean like an elite player because he's never going to be that, but a viable starter.
Yeah, if he's still in the league as somebody who completes 60% of his passes 5-6 years from now, that type of thing.
If he's a starting quarterback in the National Football League 5 years from now, and he's not the worst player at his position in the league, he's viable, as I said, I will call the organization he's with, let's just say it's still the Browns, incessantly to ask that I have Johnny Manziel on the air so I can apologize to him. Because I have ripped his sorry ass to no end. Not that he needs an apology from me. He doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know me from Adam. But I would do that. I would feel compelled.
Who are you?
Yeah. I would feel compelled. Listen, guys, just so you know, I really did believe that kid had no chance in hell of even being average, let alone a starter in the league. And now that he is, and he's not dreadful, I kind of feel compelled to say sorry about that because I was pretty harsh. Any chance he'll come on and accept my apology and talk about the process of becoming a decent football player in the league, I'll apologize to him. Click. They're not good. Yeah. What? You're insane. But he'd be the guy that I felt that bad about. Because we were all in on this guy is not any good at all.
You'd only feel bad because you would tie whatever the substance. No, because the substance abuse or would be the reasoning.
Well, maybe the reason he.
Well, that's unfortunate that he had real problems. Now that his problems are behind him, he's a good quarterback. I don't know. I don't feel bad about those assessments. I never would.
Sometimes you miss, but I was screaming from the mountaintops. He can't play. This guy sucks. Stop it.
The best thing that he's done in his career to this point
was the Alabama games.
It was the large woman he ran over in the Chick-fil-A Bowl on the sidelines.
Oh, I forgot about that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, one of the great moments in slow motion replay history.
That was fantastic. We'll have to pull that up during the break. I had forgotten completely about that. There is something joyous about watching people get completely trucked in the back of the end zone or off to the side or
Now, I'm glad this one didn't happen.
As long as they're not, seriously hurt.
This is why I'm glad this one didn't happen. Remember the picture I showed you of Pender and the old woman in Syracuse?
She wouldn't have made it.
And she knew it.
Oh, yeah. I think she saw her death running at her at warp speed.
Why? Why is a 90-year-old woman on the sidelines?
Well, I can bet you mere seconds after that play in which she was not run over, thankfully, somebody said exactly that. Hey, anybody know why the hell we got a 90-year-old woman incapable of fleeing the scene of any kind of potential damage on the sideline here? Do we want this? Do we need this? I mean, we're Syracuse. We don't win many games. We don't need death on our hands as well. The problem with little kids, like my son who's about to be 6 and my youngest son, his younger brother who's 3, they want to be everything, Tom. They want to be everything. So I was told, now we've done a good job of accumulating just through friends that had kids before we did and family members that sent stuff that they've had forever. And my brother has 2 daughters, and he was ahead of he had them before my sons were born. So anything that was unisex that you could wear, as far as costumes go, got sent our way too. So we have this stockpile of stuff, which is cool. You got Darth Vader in there. You've got Luke Skywalker in there. You've got SpongeBob in there. You've got Superman and Batman in there. You've got Spider-Man in there. I've got a Thor in there. So all these cool things. Yeah.
Thor, all right.
Thor's all right, yeah. There's a Green Lantern in there. There's a lot of things in there. So they usually just throw on something. They see a film or a cartoon or something they really like, and they want to be that. So, it's been really easy up to this point. But Bryce now is fully aware of Star Wars, and he's on a Star Wars kick. And so I thought, he's definitely going to do something Star Wars related this year. Nope. Then he wanted to be a skeleton. He and his brother both say, we want to be skeletons, Dad. We want a legitimate skeleton outfit. We want to be spooky skeletons.
Which you, I'm sure, did not have in the stockpile.
No, we did not. It was the one thing we didn't have.
That must have been frustrating.
Well, I laughed and thought, okay, here's the thing. I've said this before about parenting. One of the cool things you discover about parenting is that kids' toys and things, they're not expensive. People complain all the time about how expensive kids are. They are when you have to feed them and take them to the doctors and all that other stuff. But kids' toys don't cost anything compared to adult toys. And I was so used to being selfish and buying stuff for me. I'm talking about stereos and cars, Tom. Those kinds of adult toys. So I would, those other adult toys you're referencing, they're not very expensive. But the kind that you want to have and play with on a daily basis, like a car or a stereo, those are expensive. So anyhow, I'm like, okay, we'll just go out and buy some new things, right? So here's the thing. We got the skeleton. We get one large, one small for their age. So they're cute little matching skeletons. They're all very excited. That they love zombies too. So does America, apparently.
What is up with the zombie thing?
I don't know. But anyhow, so they're going to be skeletons. And this morning, Clark, my youngest, the 3-year-old, says to me as we're driving into school, I'm dropping him off, Dad, I think I want to be a Ninja Turtle. And I go, well, that's a shame because it's Halloween today, and we don't have a Ninja Turtle outfit. I'm not going out and buying you another Ninja Turtle. I'm not doing it. I'm not. You've got skeletons. We're not doing it. Well, I'm not. This is what Clark says to me. Well, I guess I'll have to be a skeleton. That's what he says to me. Like he's an adult. Like we're sitting here working out a business deal. And I go, you guess? That's the way it is, huh? He goes, yeah, but this is the last time. He's 3. This is the last time, Dad. I'll be a skeleton tonight, I guess. But this is the last time. This kid, unbelievable. So I'm laughing. Okay, I got it, son. Sure thing. Thanks for being a skeleton tonight. Okay, but not next year, Dad. He's looking longingly out the window like the things I put up with from this guy.
You know, Dad, I'll be a team player today.
Yeah. Today, for you, all right, I'll don the skeleton outfit. Next year.
You owe me one, Dad.
Yeah, how about that? So now I'm like, okay, well, this is what little kids do. There are parents listening to this now. They know exactly what I'm talking about. Kids want to be something, and they say it repeatedly, and they tell you, yes, I want to be this, I'm going to be that. I can't wait. Then you go out, and you get the costume or you have it, and you're all set. Then the day comes, and they can't make up their mind because there are so many cartoon characters and so many movies and so many characters that they love that they're like, well, I want to be them all. Because I'm telling you, as soon as I would have purchased a Mutant Ninja Turtle outfit, he would have said that he wanted to be the skeleton again and or he wanted to be whatever, Batman.
Of the teenage variety, Teenage Mutant. I was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle because that's when they first really kind of took off.
You loved them. You love that stuff.
Oh, I
See,
did.
That all came after my time. I didn't understand it. I thought it was stupid. All I knew it was what was that Vanilla Ice was in the movie or whatever.
The second one.
Yeah,
that's The Secret of the Ooze. Yes.
Why did you see
Ninja
that?
Turtles 2.
Yeah,
I was 9.
Yeah, that's... Oof. Yeah, the real person action figure thing, that's not getting it done there. You got to go cartoon.
What, did that creep you out?
It just was silly. It just...
They battled Tokar and Razor in that movie.
That's good. The cartoon is much better. I wish, I wanted the boys to be Phineas and Ferb, but they wouldn't do it, which is the best. Phineas and Ferb is awesome. Anytime Bryce says, I want to watch Phineas and Ferb, I go, all right, that's what we're doing. Phineas and Ferb it is. Let's get to watching. Good stuff. Happy Halloween.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
All summer long, a message from the City of Tallahassee Utilities, America's #1 public utility.
Get your weekend started right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Saturdays at 6 a.m. with Fishing Florida Radio. Listen to the three amigos, Boudreaux, Steve Chapman, and Captain Mike Ortega as they catch you up to speed on what's new and biting in the North Florida region. Big-time guests, celebrities, interviews, and 3 hours of the fishing info you need. Fishing Florida Radio is brought to you by Sea Quarters Marina off Highway 98 in Carabel. Sea Quarters Marina, your full-service marina, and presented by Hobbit American Grill, locally owned and operated since 1978.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, the best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Welcome back, Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. I'm sorry, Q-Tip, go.
Abstract, you know my sticky D in here. Get on and swear it's the yeah. But your girl just moved to the joint in the club in the coffee crew.
Snake bites customer's head in Mississippi Lowe's store. Awesome. Yes, from the Nature Wants to Kill You file. Although this poor bastard didn't warrant it. And ordinarily, the story begins with me on the air about nature wanting to kill you, with rooting for nature because somebody put themselves in a precarious position in, nature. My man went into a Lowe's to avoid nature, to help further advance his abode and keep creatures far removed. And how was he rewarded at 2:30 on a Saturday? By being bit in the face.
Holy Jesus.
It's a thing of beauty.
What the is that?
A terrified shopper bitten between the eyes.
Holy Jesus.
By a snake at a Lowe's store in Mississippi. I'm not a fan of Mississippi for a lot of reasons.
Mississippi?
Let's add to the reasons. The customer opening a cabinet. I need a new cabinet. Kyle, I think this is the size we was after. When I was talking to you about the Corinth outlet would have this. I knew that we're at this, the Corinth outlet. Yeah, I knew we'd have this. So I'm gonna take a gander at this particular cabinet and see if we can get this where you know what I'm talking about, Kyle. It is unclear how the victim managed to dislodge the serpent, which is also known as a black rat snake, corn snake, or pilot snake. They don't know. It's one of those kinds of snakes, according to WTVA in Mississippi. He opened the cabinet, probably gleefully. This is the one, Kyle. I'm telling you, the exact one I wanted. I was so pumped about this, and I knew they were on sale, and here we are in the Corinth. Reminds me of Corinthians. Anyhow, the Corinth Lowe's here, and they're on sale. Sweet Jesus, Kyle, get it off. So it locked its fangs between its right there at the bridge of the nose. Get you some. The shopper was rushed to Magnolia Regional Health Center for treatment. The patient's current condition is unknown. A spokeswoman for the home improvement store chain said that an investigation is underway. That's code for I can't say anything, we will be sued.
Poor little Kane.
The police chief there, Ralph Dance. Do you think he's related in some way to Bill Dance, the fisherman?
Naturally.
Of course. Ralph Dance would not comment further. Ralph said, I got nothing to say about what happened in the store at Corinth. Chicken snakes can grow up to 5 feet long. They can climb up smooth wood surfaces like a cabinet. They like to feast on rodents and birds, and in this case, Kyle's friend's face. It's a hell of a thing to be in a Lowe's checking out cabinets.
Again, expecting safety from the elements.
Because I'm in a freaking Lowe's. This is what we do. They've got caulking. We've got fences, chain link, and the like. I've got all that I need to keep nature out and away from me.
I need to get some caulking done.
Caulking and cabinet buying today, Kyle. Oh, the love that is all and holy. This is untenable. This snake is on my face.
I should have gone to the caulking first.
Why didn't we go to Home Depot, Kyle? I just like the line, a terrified shopper. Well, sweet Jesus. This looks like a good cabinet. Just snake leaping, a snake lunging out. It's like these stories you read where people find snakes in toilets.
He probably got relocated from like the Midwest, and that's just where the hub for his business is. And he's like, okay, I'm going to make the most of it, go to Lowe's, get some creature comforts.
But he's a New Yorker by way of the Midwest.
That's right.
Into the Mississippi Lowe's in Corinth. This is one of those things. Well, you're right. It's a snake to the face. This is very different than anything else we've ever talked about on the show. I've said on the show before, when people get attacked by sharks, there's always the guy that goes and swims to his friend's aid. We had an FSU, a woman, alumnus here that was in the alumni magazine. I remember sitting there reading that at my house going, out there in, I think it was San Diego, wherever it was, guy she was swimming with, training for a triathlon gets bitten in half. It's awful. I mean, by a great white shark, and she sees the shark and swims back and helps him. Oh. I always wonder, would I be that? Would I do that? You don't know until you're in the position. If you see your friend in pain, you might do something you didn't think you were capable of. But I was just saying, if a snake leapt from a cabinet at Lowe's, first of all, I really just can't foresee a time that Tom and I are at Lowe's together. I just can't. He and I hang out in lots of ways. I just don't ever see us at Lowe's
I'm
together.
not getting that way either.
No,
Don't you ever let me turn to that guy who's like, hey, Jeff, me and the missus, I got to go to Lowe's.
No.
I got a deck I'm building. You're going to help me build the deck?
I helped. Well, helped is a loose definition of what I did. I aided Matt Millar in building a deck at his house. I didn't do a lot of the
Pay
labor.
people to do it.
Well,
I don't get that.
I pay people to do it. That's right.
People, guys love to build their own stuff. I'm like, dude, no.
Well, it's like
it doesn't involve electronics.
Yeah, no,
There's
I'm
no
not
air conditioning.
I'm not a big fan either. But some people are really good. I wish I was good at it.
They're like addicted to getting splinters.
I have admiration for the guy that can build his own deck or whatever he's fixing. Like Matt can do all that stuff.
If he wants to build my future deck,
yeah,
he's got beers for a year.
Yeah, you'll pay him, right? It's the right thing to do.
Plus cash.
Right, whatever. Here, dude, here's some beers. Go build my deck.
Yeah.
I don't think that's getting it done.
I'm gonna give you $100.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting it done.
Cash.
No, I'm just, you read these stories where people are in need, nature is attacking, and there's somebody that comes to their aid, renders aid. I'm just thinking, I'm not the one. If a snake leapt from a cabinet while you and I were at Lowe's and latched itself onto your face, I'd run and get you help. That's the kind of friend I am.
Yeah.
I would run and get you help.
I honestly believe, given my issues with critters,
yeah,
I am more likely to help somebody in a hold-up situation.
Somebody's got a gun pulled on them.
I'm probably more likely to help you in that situation than I am with a snake attached to your face. I don't know, man.
You're running to get the guy with the vest. That's all
He's
you're
got
doing.
the vest. That's
He's
why
got to help.
Hey.
Yo, you, vest boy.
You
I
are
need you to help
obligated.
this guy out. He's got a snake attached to my friend's face.
If you have the apron on, too.
Who would believe you, too? Like, if he was around the corner and wasn't witnessing this horrific thing, and you ran around the corner and were like, hey, buddy, my friend's being attacked by a snake in the face in the cabinet aisle.
I don't think I'd do it like a pseudo Dave Chappelle. I'd probably have real fear in my voice. He's bit in the face.
He's been... What did Five Fingers say to the face?
Snake.
That is so awful. All right, so the last 30 minutes of the show is us talking about a guy getting his face bit by a snake. It's the bye week between the Super Bowl. What do you want me to do?
Hey there.
You, my friend, snake face, come help. That's not.
No.
No, what? What is this? Please leave the store, sir. Good work out of you, Tom Lane. To those that called in or listen, I surely do appreciate it. You guys take care. Have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow.
Jezebel, you can't beat the house.
Why, hello, my friends, and a very happy Victory Monday to you all. Throughout the history of our planet, certainly in its civilized history, rival nations or factions would signal an end to their conflict with a ceremony of sorts. In that ceremony, the vanquished would lay down their arms in order to raise a pen. With a few strokes of ink on a piece of paper, peace would be achieved through submission. In turn, the vanquisher then would raise a glass to the vanquished to honor their noble, but ultimately impotent cause. With that in mind, as victors of 4 straight sporting battles, it is our turn to raise a glass to our rival, the mighty University of Florida. All right, there's one. Tom, make sure you get yours there all the way. Oh, no, fill it up. Sorry, champagne can be finicky. And so, to the University of Florida, our esteemed rival, we honor your efforts by reliving select highlights. Raise your glasses with me, one and all, as we listen to the playing of each of the University of Florida's offensive touchdowns in the McElwain-Fisher era. Well, thank you all.
To stay alive, ball is loose, and the Noles have it. DeMarcus Walker with the fumble recovery. That is going to be the story all night. 2nd and 3, patient, then explosive, and a touchdown for the Noles. And that's all that Dalvin Cook needs. Francois over the middle, complete. Rudolph in space and into the end zone. Travis Rudolph. They go to the up back, Stevenson, and he gets free and into the end zone. Freddie Stevenson, score of the year. Appleby pressured by Walker and thrown down. DeMarcus Walker is a beast. Ball's out. Appleby smothered. You think it means just a little something in this rivalry? Francois able to celebrate the 8-yard touchdown run.
Stick him in your mouth and suck him. Stick him in your mouth and suck him. Stick him in your mouth and suck him. Stick him in your mouth and suck him.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, the best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
The Home Depot's red, white, and blue.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You put your mower through a lot. All that back and forth can add up to thousands of miles. That's like mowing cross country. Gravely commercial mowers are built for all-day performance, helping you get the job done mile after mile. Gravely, built to mow the distance.
Get your Gravely motor only at TNT Supercenter, your one-stop shop for work or play. 14585 Highway 19 South, Thomasville, Georgia. TNTSupercenter.com.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck, always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
That sarcophagus. Show some mercy. Crack open an ice cold Mountain Dew. You know your mouth wants you to. Do the do.
Refreshment Services Pepsi announces that Brad Burns has been chosen Employee of the Month. Brad never hesitates to help the sales and delivery staff with any task that needs to be done, always working to help make RSI a better company. Brad's great work ethic and enthusiasm reflect the spirit of Pepsi.
Canal Street Crepe Company congratulates the FSU Seminoles on reaching the College World Series. Canal Street Crepe Company, 1304 North Monroe Street, open daily 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Go Noles!
Broadcasting live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Tallahassee Sports Center.
I'm Lee Gordon. Summer is generally a slow time in the sports world, but not so much for the NBA. A day after the Chris Paul trade, Paul George is up next. Will he be heading to Houston, Miami, potentially the Cleveland Cavaliers? Also making headlines is Tim Tebow. Had a habit of making a big splash and certainly did so on Wednesday night. The New York Met delivered with his very first home run in High A. He's now in Port St. Lucie playing for the Mets. Former Seminole running back Carlos Williams continues to watch his career downward spiral. He's now been suspended by the National Football League for a year after a third substance abuse violation. And in college basketball, we know the Florida State men's team will take on Rutgers in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, while Sue Semrau and the women will be at Iowa City on November 29.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, the best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
My guess is lots of people have pictures of Jameis Winston dancing with girls. He does it often at any number of establishments. Seems to go hand in hand with being a football player. Being a football player on this campus with these clubs, they dance with girls. They probably do more than dance with girls, and that is documented in terms of photography and cell phone videos and whatever, conversation and email and you name it. So that doesn't in any way surprise me, but it's part of it. It's all part of it. That picture swirling now makes me laugh. I think we joked about it last week. I said, how long till that picture that we saw of him dance with that one girl at the Coliseum or whatever that is? That what it's called?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's the Coliseum. I'm happy to say I really haven't.
I've never been inside. I mean, I'm not trying to rip the place out. It's just not my thing. I'm a 42-year-old man. Why the hell would I be there?
It's not the establishment. It's that, man, that used to be known by a different name when I was in college.
But is that the place that used to be the movie theater when I was in college?
I think so.
Yeah, it's been a lot of things. Yeah.
I think it was called Chubby's when I was when I was in college.
That's the Chubby's?
I think so, yeah.
Well, before that, it was a movie theater, my friend.
Right.
That was outstanding. Used to love there. You get pitchers of beer, eat food while you watch the movie. Good times. More innocent time, Tom.
It's
Probably
crazy.
not, but I just like to say that like old people do.
When you're delving into the current, state of college students, so to speak, as you're looking through the Jameis Winston stuff, it's I only graduated friggin' 4 years ago.
Oh, things have changed,
the days
man. Kids are all into
collared
drugs, Tom.
shirts,
It's nuts.
American Eagle clothing, and cargo shorts are long gone. They're replaced by neon-colored tank tops for dudes.
Well, they're going back to some parts of the 80s that we really need not explore again. The short shorts, the boat shoes, and tank tops, fellas. I saw that play out originally. It doesn't end well. You all end up looking like members of really bad pop bands, like Wham. You don't want to do that. You don't. That's not what you want to do, guys. You're going to look back at those striped tank tops, and you're going to have nothing but remorse. You're going to go back and look at those shorts and say, what the hell was I thinking? That's obscene. I should have been arrested. You're going to go back, and you're going to see that very effeminate look on yourself, and you're going to say, that's not what you do.
It's a hell of a generation we got here in college right now.
You know what I blame?
Love you guys for listening, though.
Oh, here's what I blame. I blame the fitness rage. The fitness rage is a great thing because Lord knows what a fat-ass country we live in and all the effects that has on health care, et cetera. It's the worst, right? So fatty fats caused this in a weird way because the response to the fatty fats was, hey, you fat bastards have got to get in shape. This is not getting it done. So then the message got out there. Got to get in shape. Got to work out. So dudes started working out on a regular basis. Everybody works out now, and that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Problem is, all these guys work out. They get a decent physique. They think they look good. Now they're wearing tank tops again. What are we doing here?
Well, also, I think
Stop it, fellas.
They also want to work in the cardio to the nightlife by playing dubstep.
That's
and
well, that I don't know. That really is tragic. What happened there? We do our best to combat it with our bumper music, Tom. That's what we do. It's the right thing to do. You know, one popular trend that I do like if I'm going to make fun of all the dudes at FSU wearing ridiculous clothing as a negative, I can talk about the positive bent. Party buses and limos are everywhere these days, and affordable, too. No, I'm not plugging one.
I was waiting
sounds
for the
like
name brand.
That would have been great, huh? And affordable, too, like Truman Show. I should break out the kind of coffee I like. No, but they are. Have you noticed that? They're everywhere. People are taking these buses, and they get loopy on the bus. And it's not like down in Tampa at the Bucks games where you have transvestites and meth heads on the bus getting crazy.
Stay away from the bus.
You don't want to be near a bus in Tampa of any kind. Public transportation on the up and up or not is not the idea in Tampa.
School system?
Oh, definitely not in the school system. You're either in for an ass beating or a bad scene.
Or a poor education.
Just got to be careful. Jeff, email. We have his DNA. Can we clone him? Mr. Barry, that is well played. I like that you're right up against that line.
I'm glad that we have an emailer named Barry, too.
Jeff, the movie theater was called the Varsity Movie Theater. I remember the Varsity Movie Theater. I also remember IC Flicks, and I also remember Parkway 5. Everybody in on the Parkway 5 theaters down Appalachia Parkway, which is now, I think, Staples? Right there next to, yeah, man.
I'll tell you what this used to be.
This used to be a place of movie theaters. And they just paved it all over, and now all we got is crazy fast food places and guys wearing tank tops. Damn it.
And 2 lanes each way, even though that's convenient.
It's funny. I link back to when I was telling you when I first got here and Capitol Circle was 1 lane each way, and that we had movie theaters. They were everywhere. Tom, you must recall back in those days, the ability to sit back at your house and watch a movie on anything other than a 32-inch sorry-ass television it just didn't exist.
You remember sneak previews and stuff like that?
Oh, sneak previews were the best.
Yeah.
You know, I was the king of me and my roommate, we had a deal where if we were just chilling, playing Sega, no doubt, and having some beers, and it got late enough that we decided we weren't going out, I'd be like, let's catch some midnight flick at the Parkway 5 that's ridiculous, that we would have no desire. It had to be like a bad action movie, like anything with Jean-Claude Van Damme or anything.
Street Fighter.
Time Cop. Or any of those things, just something absurd. And so
Lionheart.
I don't know why, but this is true. It used to be that the people, well, certainly if you're going to a midnight movie.
Sudden death.
If you're going to a midnight movie in Parkway 5, they really just didn't care that it was obvious you had holstered 15 beers around your waist. I mean, we would walk in, and then, like, you could hear the beer swishing about. It's the dead of summer, and my man is wearing a hoodie, and it's just like 2 for shoot 'em dead, please. 2 for shoot 'em dead. Okay, that's $2. You go into shoot 'em dead, and all over the theater, people are just. I mean, as soon as the previews start, just. I mean, occasionally you'd hear that uneasy sound, like I think somebody's peeing in the back of the theater. I'm pretty sure they didn't get up. They didn't want to miss it in the movie. I'm not saying these were better times. They were just different times.
They were times.
They were times. They existed. This is something that was real. I'm sure the people at Parkway 5 were not amused.
Just talking about the holster, that makes me laugh. It makes me think of like somebody's got a grenade launcher in a movie, you know, like when they got the shells, you can put the beers across the chest.
And people would openly like, hey, guys, I see you got some beer. I'm going to hand you $5. Toss me back a couple of brews. I mean, it's just, all right, dude, there you go.
Sweet, we can get popcorn.
Pretty soon we're all watching bad movies at the Parkway 5. But we're not listening to dubstep because dubstep didn't exist, and the world was better. Tank tops weren't going on either, guys. Got to let that go. I blame the frats. I always blame the frats. You can blame the frats on most anything that's bad.
Well, the frats, even in our day, I mean, they had the buttoned up look and it looked professional, but they wore the 1970s shorts. and they usually were like salmon colored.
And the collar was flipped up oftentimes.
Yep, that too.
A lot of troubling situations.
Fisherman's
there,
sunglasses,
and,
even though they never fished for anything in their life.
And boat shoes aren't comfortable.
No, they're not.
They really have never been comfortable, and they're not a great look.
My dad pulls it off, but it's only because it's been like a 30-year trademark. He just stuck with it.
Old people can pull off anything. Old people look ludicrous. They're just in general. Old
The
people.
long black socks and the boat shoes.
That's right.
There
That's
you go.
awesome. That's a good look. But when you've lived like they've lived, when you've seen what they've seen, when they've been through what they've been through, you're free to wear whatever the hell you want. Nobody's ragging on an old person for their outfit. They're just ragging on them because they're old. Because old people say and do silly things. That in and of itself is funny. They also look funny. But the outfits, well, they're outstanding. It took me a long time to get that. The outfits are awesome. They remain undeterred. That shirt, they've always liked that shirt. I don't care what your style is. I'm wearing that shirt. There's Granddad in that ridiculous shirt, buttoned down too far at that, with shorts that are too short and boat shoes.
The one with the triangles.
And they're still smoking cigarettes right in the living room. Like, who the hell does that? Old people. What? They've got the ashtray next to their chair.
He's got the triangle shirt on. I always feel uncomfortable when he wears the triangle shirt. I don't know why.
He's got golf on in the background. That TV should have been replaced years ago. Smoking a cigarette in his chair. Good. Oh, man. All right, I'll get to sports.
You got to focus on the shadow to see what's happening.
It's a respite. It's a respite is all. Oh, we loved you, Varsity Movie Theater and IC Flicks.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, The Best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Did you know that when you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough, I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Fire Betty's, the Fox and Stag, located in the Manor at Midtown in the heart of Midtown Tallahassee. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Fire Betty's features newly refurbished vintage arcade games, a brand new food menu, and a summertime-only happy hour from 5 to 9. Thursday is hospitality night, live music on Friday nights from 9 till 1, and video DJs on Saturdays on the outside TVs. The Fox and Stag, Tallahassee's best craft bartenders, mixing up cocktails sourced with local ingredients. Wednesday night is ladies' night with free champagne from 9 till 11. For catering and private parties, give them a call at 727-8284.
You're busy with work, kids, school, and many other things every day. Figuring out how to get a good deal on homeowners or auto insurance is the last thing you want to do. Go visit Stacy Maxwell, owner of Insurance One, to guide you in the right direction, as he's done for the past 30 years. He'll find you a great policy at an affordable price and make your day a little easier. Call Stacy at 671-5768, visit them online at insuranceonefl.com, or go see him at their new location, 1350 Market Street, Suite 200, right above the Pink Narcissus.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, The Best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
I'm probably, maybe I'm not. I'm going to dangle this out here and find out if I'm the only one. I'll throw it out there. I'm not afraid. And I have to describe it properly because it'll sound insensitive and cruel if I don't. Mean-spirited. But I used to talk about a lot on the show back when I did mornings, and then later on for a while, my big thing was always thin the herd. If people who do dumb things and die, I don't spend a lot of time on worrying about. Thin the herd. And so when I would read these stories of people going over Niagara Falls and dying, and you would read the article, it would be like, John Wilhap decided that he must get in a barrel and go over Niagara Falls because his great uncle did it, and he thought he could do it. It was a lifelong dream. And then whatever, he goes over Niagara Falls, and much to the shock of all the people there, it just doesn't work out. I don't know. He lands awkwardly, boom, breaks his neck, he's dead. And so, the barrel, they open it up, John's dead. And you read the article, and there's always kind of a tenor to it. There's isn't that a shame? And I always get mad when that's the angle, when that's the narrative. Like, isn't that a shame? No, that's not a shame. That dumbass got in a barrel and went over Niagara Falls. That's not a shame. That's just stupid. Oopsie. And so now, tragic accidents that befell people, good people just trying to go about their day. You read that is a shame. You read that, some guy sitting at a traffic light, a drunk driver or something, that's awful. That's terrible. And that could happen, that could affect each and every one of us. It's horrible, right? Family members, something like that could happen. You worry about that kind of stuff. So when I read that story, I understand the tone. I'm like, that is tragic. That guy did nothing wrong. You get in a barrel and go over Niagara Falls, you're screaming, I want to die. I mean, or I'm tempting fate, certainly. So that brings us to, you guessed it, Nik Wallenda. And last night, millions of people watched this thing. 13 million viewers, shattering Discovery Channel records. It's Walking with Dinosaurs, which aired way back in 2000, was the... By the way, can you believe Walking with Dinosaurs aired 13 years ago? I watched that.
I'm sure you did. I kind of remember Walking with Dinosaurs.
Anyhow, Nik Wallenda. Now, I said something last night about this, and I got a funny look. So I don't know if I'm the only person, but when you watch it, first of all, it's harrowing. It's nuts. If you don't know what I'm talking about, he walked across the Grand Canyon. He's part of the Linda family that goes back over 100 years of walking tightropes. I think it was his great-grandfather who bit it at 70-something years of age by falling off one of the ropes. I mean, you do this enough times, you're going to fall off eventually. At some point, you're going to slip, you're going to misstep, there's going to be a big gust of wind, you're going to die. So I never feel bad about that. I read that story. If I read about a tightrope walker falling off a tightrope and dying, I go, well, walking on a tightrope. I mean, sweet Jesus.
Rope is pretty tight. No,
it's a crazy thing, right? I mean, who's doing that? Now, I am amazed. I can sit with a sense of awe and wonder at those that are capable of accomplishing such a feat. Man on a Wire is an awesome documentary between the Trade Center towers. That's nuts. And that is the kind of the mental, the focus, the strength, it's remarkable. I'm not saying I don't appreciate the skills or the preparation.
Unnecessary as those skills may be.
Well, it's completely unnecessary, but I can still appreciate the ability. And listen, I think you've got to be a strong-minded individual. I would be, I get the heebie-jeebies thinking about it. Anyhow, he did it, right? And 13 million people watched. He trained for weeks in Sarasota, Florida, and he became the first person ever to cross the Grand Canyon. And I thought, train for weeks in Sarasota? What in Sarasota is anything like walking across a tightrope across the Grand Canyon? He's like 2 feet off his backyard ground. All right. Now, this is not as big as the Grand Canyon, obviously, but I'm just going to turn around and walk back and forth 942 times, and that will equal the distance.
Gets pretty windy in Sarasota.
It's crazy. No, so here's what I'll ask you, Tom. I guess where I was going with this. It's morbid, but there's a weird part. I feel bad. I'm just being honest. There's a weird part of me. I'm sure it makes me a bad guy. I kind of root for these people to fall. I'm just going to say it.
That's not what you do.
I kind of just root for these people to fall. It is completely unnecessary. I'm sorry. You know, would we celebrate somebody who decided to go swimming with the Crocs? You know, if somebody's like, I'm going to swim with the Crocs.
I'm sure the Discovery Channel has a program just like that.
And if the person said, I'm going to go swimming with the Crocs, there wouldn't be a little part of you that's like, this is going to get interesting. I think crocodiles are nice.
I think you're rooting for somebody to fall until they start falling.
And then they start falling. And then you would go, no, don't fall. No, I didn't mean it. Don't grab the rope. Somebody get this dumbass off the wire. No, you're probably right.
Does he have a parachute?
No, yeah. I guess maybe I don't really want him to fall because then he's dead. And, I'm not rooting for that. But it's weird. While it's going on, it's kind of like, I've talked about this before. A lot of people can relate to this. I remember one time I brought it up in a different situation, talking about when we think crazy things, but we really don't. We would never do it, but we think crazy things. Like if you're driving down the road and you think, I'm just going to jerk the wheel. You would never do that, but a lot of us have thought of it. You've been driving down the interstate at like 80 miles per hour and thought, if I just jerk the wheel hard right, it's all done. That's it. This little trip is over. I mean, you have.
I think about that on certain roads, and one of them is actually right by us, and it's not that dangerous because you're not going anywhere near 80 miles an hour. But Gaines, how they have those huge dips now where they put like the trees and stuff on the right. Like if you're not paying attention and you hop that curb, that's gonna hurt, man. That may kill you. You gotta be careful going down Gaines Street.
Jeff, email. I DVR'd it just so I could watch it if he died. Is that wrong? I'm telling you.
So what, do you watch it like fast forward at three times
he's not
speed?
going to watch it now. What the hell's the point? Who cares? He made it. That's boring.
Delete.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I watched just in case he fell. I'm telling you, I don't know. I bet you there are a lot of people like me watching that are like, all right, I don't really necessarily want this guy to fall. But if he were to fall, I mean, I'm not turning away. I'm going to continue to watch to see if this guy falls. 3/4 of the reason, 99% of the people watch just to see if he'd fall, not to see if he'd make it. You don't choose.
And they're not rooting for it, though. There's a difference.
Right.
There's rooting for it and wanting to see it.
There is a morbid curiosity. You're watching to see if this guy falls. And I'm not the bad guy if he falls. That's just dumb what he's doing.
I just wanted to see if his jealous understudy coated the 47-foot marker with some Vaseline.
This will show him. I've tried to tell Nick I need a raise for years.
He has cleared 45 feet. Here it comes.
I like this paragraph. The circus performer, acrobat, and heir to the famed Flying Wallendas, they're called a circus family, said he wasn't afraid of walking a quarter mile across the gorge. Walenda told reporters after the walk that he hoped his next stunt would be a tightrope walk between the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building in New York City. Now, Tom, I'm telling you, it's the same thing. When this guy starts to walk between the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building, I
think your boy's DVR in that one, too.
Yeah, we all will be like, it gets windy in New York. This ought to be interesting. I probably did not describe that properly. I'm just saying there was a part of me that was kind of like,
I don't root for people to fail, but I root for Flying Wallendas to fall.
I'll root for people to fail. 13 million people were watching this thing. That would have been something. If he had just a good gust of wind, there he goes.
See, I get excited if Discovery Channel said there's no delay. I'd be like, okay.
Okay.
Is this real live?
Right.
Is this real live?
Right.
Or is this like 3 minutes behind so they
Well,
can
this
find
guy
some
did it a
alternate
week
programming?
ago. They know it's fine. He's good to go. They would have
did it a
never.
week
No,
ago?
no. I'm making that up. I'm saying that's what you begin to wonder. You're like, oh, well, come on. They're not going to show a guy fly off into the Grand Canyon to his death, just plummet to his death on live television. You know they're not. That's some fine programming if they do. That's. Oh, man, we've really come to a day and time
We
when
are that network.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're that society. I want to see this. This guy's about to fly into the gorge where he'll splatter all over the rocks. Did they have an above cam? How is this? Is there a camera attached to him? If he falls, do you get to hear him go, oh! It's morbid curiosity. It is. I know I'm not the only one. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. Jeff emailed the most disconcerting thing, those pants. My working theory, he did that walk at 1,400 feet because that's likely well above the minimum distance the chute he had packed under his jacket would activate properly. Anyway, didn't you think that the tight 90210 style jeans was an odd choice for a walk across a wire strung over the Grand Canyon? Yes. I was disturbed by any number of elements. Jeff, where's the wind? Can I get some wind, please? Just a healthy gust or two? Screw that guy. That's from Tom. Not you, Tom. Or did you say that, Tom? Jeff, email Thin the Herd. I felt the exact same way about the crocodile hunter. I knew he was going to get it one day. Not a shame, just inevitable. Love the show. That's Big T in Denver. Thank you, Big T. Man, I don't know. I didn't root for it as much with the crocodile hunter. I don't. Yeah.
You're like, I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I did. These people are like, yeah.
I like the where's the wind? Good Lord. Also, Russ telling me that he DVR'd it solely because he wanted. That's me. Why wait? He's not going back. He's like, oh, I don't need to watch this.
I just like that he's not wasting his time. He's like, all right, I could do more efficient things, but if this is must-see TV, I'll hear about it.
Yeah, I'll go back. Yeah, listen, I wasn't, maybe I didn't describe it in completely the way I should have, but I think there were plenty of people watching that going, this falls, it's going to get kind of interesting. You know, there's a part of me that actually, what I want.
It's going to get interesting.
Well,
I mean, that's it.
No. Really, what I think in truth what I wanted was for him to fall and catch himself and just be dangling until they could get him help. Like, let's see how strong you are. How long can you hold yourself up there, buddy? That'd be, your arms are burning. Get somebody on the line out there. That would be, yeah.
Send a hot air balloon across, just try to hover over him.
You shouldn't have done this, Nick. I tried to tell you.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, the best of the Jeff.
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Off MSRP on Rogue, $5,000 off all Muranos, up to $6,000 off Altima, and $7,000 off MSRP on all Maximas. And all have available 0% interest for 72 months. Plus, all new Kraft Nissans come with our exclusive lifetime warranty at no charge. So stop by Kraft Nissan today, because model for model, not Toyota, Honda, Ford, or Chevy can match our prices. And Nissan gives you more standard equipment and more value for your money. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Must qualify and finance with NMAC and take delivery from dealer stock of over 350 vehicles.
Canal Street Crepe Company congratulates the FSU Seminoles on reaching the College World Series. Canal Street Crepe Company, 1304 North Monroe Street, open daily 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Go Noles!
Need a place to watch your favorite sporting event? Hobbit American Grill, voted best wings in Tallahassee by Tally Awards 3 years in a row. Thirsty? They have the Lucky Sevens. $7 domestic pitchers after 7 p.m., 7 days a week, $7.95. Daily specials. Locally owned and operated since 1978. Hobbit American Grill keeps it local with a wide variety of locally crafted beers plus a full bar. Hobbit American Grill. 3 locations to choose from. 400 Capitol Circle Southeast, 2020 West Pensacola Street, and 5032 Capitol Circle Southwest. Visit them online at myhobbitonline.com.
Tallahassee Sports Center.
I'm Lee Gordon. Summer is generally a slow time in the sports world, but not so much for the NBA. A day after the Chris Paul trade, Paul George is up next. Will he be heading to Houston, Miami, potentially the Cleveland Cavaliers? Also making headlines is Tim Tebow. Had a habit of making a big splash and certainly did so on Wednesday night. The New York Met delivered with his very first home run in High A. He's now in Port St. Lucie playing for the Mets. Former Seminole running back Carlos Williams continues to watch his career downward spiral. He's now been suspended by the National Football League for a year after a third substance abuse violation. And in college basketball, we know the Florida State men's team will take on Rutgers in the ACC Big Ten Challenge, while Sue Semrau and the women will be at Iowa City on November 29.
Live from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. Buick GMC Cadillac Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee, this is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, the best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
They come in with that. That's when you just nod your head. Oh yeah, you got us a little something here. Bring it. You know, I want to apologize to Dick Lang and to my fellow coworkers and staff here at ESPN Radio. I have been a bit difficult to deal with. I think you'd admit that, Tom, lately. My computer, I dropped it like an ass last week inexplicably. I just dropped my computer on the cement. That's not very smart.
The cement?
The cement, the driveway. And I was getting out of the car. I was in a hurry. I was doing a bunch of things, and I dropped the computer. It wasn't good.
That's not what you do.
No. And you know that moment when you think you've broken something or lost something of value to you, and you go into denial? You begin to rationalize. You tell yourself repeatedly, it's going to be all right. They make things much better these days. I mean, I was like, well, it's amazing. I was talking about that computer and the way that it was made. It's an HP. It's a nice computer. It's
sturdy, very sturdy.
Yeah, I'm like talking about it as if it's just like the advancements in modern medicine. Like the guys get ACL injuries now and come back. I'm talking about the computer that way. It's laying on the ground. The little battery that's in the back has flown across the driveway. I mean, it landed with some force, and I'm going, it'll be all right. It's fine. They know people drop these things. Surely they know. They probably test these things by jumping up and down on them.
Just rub a little dirt on it. We'll be all right.
This computer will be fine. I'm like, treat it like my son. We're playing a game and he falls down. I go, get up. It's just, this is kind of just, I'm like, come on, computer. You'll be all right. So we get in the house. Me and the computer. And I set it down on the table. I didn't even bother to test it to see if it would work. I just said, it's going to be fine. I know it's going to be fine. I brought it into work the next day, and it wasn't fine. It was struggling. And broke my heart.
Struggling.
I thought if I mashed the buttons harder, though, it would start working better. I just figured if I pressed on harder, it would work better.
This isn't track and field.
No, it didn't work. I said, light up. Why won't that little light come on? Jeff, that'd be because it's broken. And I'm trying, So long story short, my friends at On Call did the right thing and helped me out, and I had to get a new hard drive. And then I started getting paranoid, and they were able to retrieve all the data off my other hard drive, which would have been disastrous if I'd lost that. I've got thousands of pictures. Sexy time. No, I'm kidding. Family pictures. And I was really concerned. I was very concerned that I wasn't going to be able to get any of those. So I got everything back, but I've been grumpy because I haven't had a computer in a week. I mean, I have an iPad, and I have some other means of checking the World Wide Web.
You've had a computer during the 3 to 6 hours.
I have. I've used yours. I've taken yours. It was great. I'm probably a joy to work for and with. I said to Tom, I need your computer. That's how that was negotiated. Well, okay. Tom, I need the computer. Come on, we're doing the show. Let's go. I need the computer.
It would be a much bigger deal if I didn't have an extra computer at my right hand.
Yeah, you've got multiple computers.
I do. I got 5 monitors when I got a good day going here.
Mine was broken. It was terrifying. And so anyhow, I got it. You know what you realize, and this will be the end of this little side story. You realize how reliant we are on technology, A, and everybody knows that. You just try losing your phone or whatever. But B, you realize that you don't know any of your passwords. That's what you realize. You have no idea that when I log into Yahoo, it's just automatic, right? I've had the same password on Yahoo for like 9 years. And so I go to Yahoo, and it's not letting me look at the things, and I want to look at it, and it's asking me for my password. I'm like, I don't even know that. I have no idea. That's a password. It's probably like a relative that passed away 6 years ago. I don't even know. It's like it's been that long. I don't even know.
I miss you, Aunt Jenny.
I'm like, oh, Aunt Jenny, that's right. So so this is the other thing I've learned. Between you and Matt Millar, my old producer and good friend, you guys could ruin my life quite easily. Between you and Matt Millar, you both know my bank account numbers. You both know all my passwords. You both know what I use to get it. Because when things don't work, I just go, Tom, what's that? What's the thing for the thing on this site? And then you go, it's your son's name, your firstborn. Oh, that's right, Tom. Thank you. I have no idea. And Matt's the same way. He was producing for me for a better part of a decade, and I'm like, I just call Millar. Hey, Millar, what's my routing number for my bank account? Oh, that's da-da-da-da. Tom, what's my tax ID? Oh, Jeff, that's Matt. What's my Social Security?
True story. It happened yesterday when you were interviewing Corey Clark because we were working like mad to go get Corey. And then the interview was happening. I wanted your account to retweet the tweet that he's on the air right now. But you're conducting the interview. I have your phone, though, because I wanted to make sure I punch in the right numbers for Mr. Clark. But I know your 4-digit passcode just because I know it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
And you don't even know why you
never told me it. I was like, I'll bet it's, and boom, your iPhone was mine.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you and Matt could ruin my life. You could if you wanted to. Now, I'd know right where to go. But you
have to choose between the two of us.
I mean, I would know it's one of you two. I think Matt still has a more extensive knowledge of my passcodes. But I'm serious. I bet there are a lot of people nodding their head on this. You lose your computer and you have to put a new hard drive, or you break your computer and you have to put a new hard drive in. It's not saving anything, right? So all of a sudden you go to your sites. I don't care if it's Facebook or Twitter or whatever it is, right? It doesn't remember. It doesn't know. You have to log in all over again. I'm sitting there like, I know you wanted to do the Jimbo Fisher. I thought we made computers. Dolls.
No, I didn't, but thank you.
Yeah, I was thinking, I did. I'm looking at these sites, and I'm like, you should just remember, like it's a person. Come on, Twitter, you know me. I've been here from the get-go. I don't know what I used that fateful night that I signed up for Twitter. I was probably in the bag. I have no idea. It was likely the holidays. I'd gotten into the punch. I just started making up stuff, and I've never had to log back. And I always say, remember my password. You know how they always ask you, do you remember your password or not? I always say, yes, remember it, because I sure as hell won't. But that's...
Drinking the eggnog? Hey, Twitter,
hey,
all right, let's do it.
This looks like it could be fun. What do you say, Twitter? Yeah, man, I've just silliness, complete silliness. I now know that I have no idea. None of my... I know one password. That's for my, where I get the money, the bank account. That's it.
Literally, that's true? Man.
No, I don't think that's true. I'm embellishing some. But there are, probably 7 sites that I'm like, I have no idea.
Well, I know what happens with your iTunes like once a year. You ask me, what's my password on iTunes? And that's the one I'll never know. I never know that password because then you come to a conclusion and set it and don't tell me. Yeah. So I never know the answer. That's really happened like 3 times.
I know.
And I've known you for like 4 years.
Yeah, Tom, what's my iTunes password? And you go, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know?
You always walk away and said it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I just type in like 19 things. I go, aha, that's the one. No, I've changed some now, and I've got it down. Anyhow, that's not sports related. I just thought on a human interest, or maybe not, level, people can relate to that. I don't know. There's somebody right now going, I have no idea what that password is. And now I want to write it down, right? But that kind of, that's not good.
Then you're a loser.
Yeah. Just don't drop your computer. That's the real lesson in this whole thing. Do not drop your computer on the driveway, all right?
When you're in need of auto repairs, look no further than Nice Tire and Auto Service. Nice has been in business for 16 years with long-term, knowledgeable sales associates. They have the latest wheel balancing machine in the industry. And for passenger vehicles, they service AC, brakes, suspension, tune-ups, and much more. Never sit through a long wait. Nice Tire and Auto has 10 service bays to get you back on the road quickly. If you have tire problems, check out their large inventory with various Goodyear and Michelin tires. Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, 574-4100.
You can tell a lot about a tractor by its warranty. That's why Mahindra makes the toughest tractors on earth. With steel, not plastic. Backed by the industry's best limited powertrain warranty, period. Not 5 years, not 6 years, but a full 7 years on select models. No wonder the other guys are green with envy.
No money down, 0% interest, and no payments until July. Available at TNT Supercenter.
I'm talking tough, like a state of mind. Tough, like a soldier on the front line. Tough when it gets rough, like my Ford truck. Always enough. I'm talking tough.
Franklin Spring Creek Ford, the place to find your next truck in southern Georgia.
I'm talking tough.
Hey y'all, we're Chris and Preston from Low Cash. Head to Franklin Spring Creek Ford and see them about all of your vehicle needs.
Street service, we go out on a limb for you.
Give us a call at 894-TREE.
I have known for some time now that some insurance companies are not exactly being truthful with their customers, stating such things as if you do not use one of their approved body shops, they will not guarantee the repairs, or it may cost you more out of pocket. Here at Lisa's Paint and Body Shop, the work we do is guaranteed for as long as you own your vehicle. Lisa's Paint and Body Shop, 385-2665.
License number MP46050.
Fire Betty's, the Fox and Stag, located in the Manor at Midtown in the heart of Midtown Tallahassee. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Fire Betty's features newly refurbished vintage arcade games, a brand new food menu, and a summertime-only happy hour from 5 to 9. Thursday is hospitality night, live music on Friday nights from 9 till 1, and video DJs on Saturdays on the outside TVs. The Fox and Stag, Tallahassee's best craft bartenders, mixing up cocktails sourced with local ingredients. Wednesday night is ladies' night with free champagne from 9 till 11. For catering and private parties, give them a call at 727-8284. Go check out the brand new and recently remodeled Canal Street Crepe Company on Monroe, formerly known as Crepefine. Locally owned with Cru de Gras and open daily for breakfast at 7 a.m. all the way until 8 p.m., they proudly serve Lucky Goat coffee, along with espresso, cappuccinos, lattes, and more. Why not choose healthy breakfast, lunch, and dinner made just for you? Canal Street Crepe has just added soups, plus grab-and-go mason jar salads, along with a full line of Zapp's chips. Catering is available. Canal Street Crepe Company, 1304 North Monroe Street, or call them at 222-0378.
You're listening to a special ESPN Tallahassee presentation, The Best of the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Yeah, it's all well and good that McShay's got, what has he got, 4 Noles in the first round? That's doing some things, buddy. Good for him, 4 Noles in the first round. That is nice. You see who he has the Bucs taking? A 5'8" slot receiver? I'll headbutt your face. Bridge your nose, sir.
That's not what you do.
No, that's not what you do. I'm going over to Kuiper because he's having us take a Samoan defensive lineman.
Big board.
I'm going to engage in a stereotype. All Samoans are wonderful football players. I have long sought Tom Lang, a fat Samoan on our defensive line. Look around the league. All they do is dominate. Oh, sure, blanket statement. Probably completely unfair and ignorant. Somewhere there's a skinny Samoan working at a desk. I'm sure of it.
Or on the defensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No, we don't have any Samoans on the defensive side of the ball. What are you talking? If we did, surely he'd be a Pro Bowler, Tom Lang. What are you talking about?
Well, here are two details that might help your cause. A, he doesn't have long hair, so I guess
he's not Samoan.
Manly.
No.
And B, he's 6'3", 263 pounds. That seems a little light.
He can't be. Are you sure he's not Tongan? Are you sure? You know, the Samoans and the Tongans don't get along. I know they're right there by each other, but there was a war of some kind many moons ago that they have never quite resolved. So I think you're confused, sir.
The Tongans. No, he's not Tongan. He is from Pago Pago or Pago Pago. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
No.
The Samoans in our listening audience, which is a huge part of our demo.
Huge. They're probably angry at me. They ought to be giving me love. I'm telling them, you should be starting in the NFL if you're Samoan and listen to this. You no doubt are a dominant defensive lineman waiting to be. Kuiper has us drafting Star Latualulele.
Big board.
Yeah, that's what you do. 6'2", 325-pound guy out of Utah. Never even seen him play. I'm sure he's dominant. He's Samoan, and he's a defensive lineman. By definition, he's one of the best players in the league at his position. It's the law. You can get mad at me if you like, but that's just the way the world works. It's not my fault. You know how teams have a philosophy. Some teams will say when they go into the draft, best player available in the first round. I don't care if we're loaded at wide receiver. If we've got a Randy Moss sitting out there and he's the best player available, you draft him. It doesn't matter. He's a game changer, transcendent player, you take him, even if you're loaded at the position. Well, Jeff Cameron's running the Bucs. If there's a fat Samoan on the table when you pick in the first round, I don't care if you have the best defensive line in football, you take him. You just got better. Guaranteed. He's a contributor. He's a starter today. That's the rule. Now, if you're asking me to differentiate between the Tongans and the Samoans, Tom, well, then we may need a new research department. I can't, forgive my ignorance. I don't know.
Just be careful who you're talking to when you say that, because if it's anybody that resembles a Tongan or a Samoan,
yes,
that could be a point of contention.
Well, they don't like each other, right? So we can't have those two on the same team, right?
I don't think so. I can't tell, though. Like, some people get really mad, and some are just like, eh.
What are you talking about, the Tongans and the Samoans?
Yeah.
They ought to unite in their football dominance, wreak havoc across the league. I don't know when it happened, but somewhere along the way, the Samoans and Tongans, or I guess, I don't know. Do we have any Tongans in the league? He's Tongan. I'm looking it up right now. He's Tongan. Well, I don't know. So I maybe have to expand it.
Star?
Here.
Star is Tongan?
Yeah, he's Tongan.
Okay.
So apparently you know what? While engaging in a stereotype, I failed. Imagine that. I've got to expand that blanket statement.
It's not a failure when you expand your knowledge.
Tongans and Samoans dominant. Every one of them. Never been a bad Samoan or Tongan football player.
As long as they're not a quarterback.
It's never happened. There's never been one who's bad. Like if you go to Samoa and you say, I'm looking for football players, the whole country shows up. They're just all of them. They're sitting right there like, well, look at this. If you need a defensive lineman, just go to Samoa and get that guy, you. The fisherman. Yeah, whatever. Hop in. Come on. We're going to go play some football.
I don't know why it would feel more fitting, but I feel like you have to go on that journey with Moses McCray.
Me and Moses. How great would that be? And he'd be riding the stationary bike. Me and Moses McCray. Go tell it to Moses McCray. You can't play. Go tell it to Moses McCray. You're too tired. You're sleepy. Go tell it to Moses McCray. He's on the bike. Always. He's the freaking Lance Armstrong of fat people. He is just, boom, on a bike. Knee's not well enough to get it done on the field, but he's on the bike. Torn ligaments, bike. Needs reconstructive knee surgery, he's on the bike. Yes, I'm looking for Moses McCray. He's on the bike. He ordered a pizza. He's going to eat it on the bike. We need a bill that's outstanding. Is there a Moses McCray there? Hold on a second. He's on the bike. I'll go get him. He's on the bike right now listening to the Jeff Cameron Show. That's
Six
my
people
man.
have to pick up the bike and move it while he's still pedaling.
He's working to make his way back on that field. He serves as inspiration to us all on a daily basis. When you're down and out, you think of Moses McCray on the bike, where he spent all 9 years of his time here at FSU. On the bike, like a man, looking to get back on that field. You put him alongside a Samoan, you got the greatest work ethic and best defensive line in the history of football.
They should rig the bike next to the transformer for the indoor practice facility so he can power it.
It's a brand new one. I got you. You want inspiration? That is inspiration.
Moses, we need the projector to work. I need you to pedal a little harder.
Come on, go. No, I just think can we enshrine that into some sort of FSU Hall of Fame, the bike that Moses was on for a better part of a decade?
Ravaged again and again and again. Again and again and again.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
When you carry this you on your chest, know what you carry, man. You carry a legacy. A legacy of greatness.
Ponder fires it, don't got a man. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Rodney Smith.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
It is my distinct honor to welcome our new head football coach at the U, Coach Al Golden.
Harris throws a wobbler. Oh, my goodness. Bird got laid out. Nigel Bradham.
To me, you should penalize the quarterback.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
We've done a lot of these games, but it feels different, definitely this time around.
And here's Freeman on a cutback. Reaches for the touchdown. And it is uphill from here on in for Miami.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
Miami has hungered for this, the winning track record. This could be the year.
Here's a handoff now, and Freeman going for touchdown number 3. Big night for the young man from Miami Central.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
When you carry this U on your chest, know what you carry, man. You carry a legacy. A legacy of greatness.
The game on the line on 4th and 9. Kaya steps up, delivers over the middle, intercepted by who else but Jalen Ramsey. And the Noles streak is going to stretch to 26 in a row.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
This feels like the old days. Late pitch to Cook, who's got the edge. Dalvin Cook's off and running. Hamstring looks just fine.
I need help.
We're building champions at the U. Today, we are a great deal closer to our goal. Please join me in welcoming Mark Rector.
The backdrop has shifted. Don't you feel it? Yeah. Miami, no more moral victories. That won't cut it anymore.
Well, you got to love this. Mark Richt, first-year head coach, school that he played, back from being so successful at Georgia in the SEC. Crunch time in his first Miami-Florida State game as a head coach of the Canes, and it's coming down to this.
4th and 5, here it comes. Last gasp, perhaps, for the Canes. Kaya for the end zone. Coley, touchdown!
But it feels different, definitely, this time around.
Legacy of greatness.
Like the old days.
Miami has hungered for this.
We're building champions at the U. Today, we are a great deal closer to our goal.
What a throw by Kaya on 4th down. It's blocked! No good! The Noles block the PAT, and Badgley's streak ends at 72 in a row.
I'm reliving the same day over and over.
Ravaged again and again and again. Again and again and again and again.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan, and we're chasing numbers again. And with just a few days left in June, I still need to sell 40 more new Nissans. I'm selling new Nissans with huge discounts, many under factory invoice. Why? Because Friday, June 30th is Nissan Corporate's quarterly sales close, and Kraft Nissan is 40 new Nissans away from hitting 100% of our objective and a huge quarterly bonus. And I believe in sharing that quarterly bonus with you. How good are the deals? Up to $4,000 off MSRP on Rogue, $5,000 off all Muranos, up to $6,000 off Altima, and $7,000 off MSRP on all Maximas. And all have available 0%